You're watching the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Friday Night Rivals presented by Roan Law. Tonight we closed the high school football season with a rivalry renewed for the first time in 749 days. It's East Forsyth taking on West Forsyth. And we welcome you to Clemens. Chris Edwards, happy to be alongside Mark Covert, and delighted to have you with us. Mark, these games always so close. Usually it's one or two possessions that decide the outcome of the contest. So with that thought in mind, what's the deciding factor for this game tonight?
Well, it's going to be finding splash plays, finding those impact plays, and it's going to be big players making big-time plays in this big-time game.
Yeah, you mentioned the players that we're keeping our eye on tonight. We'll start with East Forsyth, and it begins with Jalen Rayner, the quarterback. He's the piston that makes their offense go.
Oh, absolutely, and he's one of the best quarterbacks in the state. A dual threat. West Forsyth's going to have to find a way to contain him and limit his damage here tonight. Looking at what the Titans do offensively, it's all about Javante Long, an all-around back who sets the tempo for this offense. He's going to need to have a fast start here tonight.
All right, for more on tonight's game, let's say hi to the third member of our team. Good evening to Hannah Brady.
Thanks, guys. Excited for another Friday night matchup as East Forsyth takes on West right here at home. This is a rivalry that is really healthy, as we have talked to both coaches earlier this week, and it even formed into a friendship after several years playing one another. These kids are fired up here tonight, and I'm excited to see what happens out here on the field. Will a win set here in the West, or will it rise in the East? Chris and Mark, back to you.
It's the Eagles who look to soar into town to claim the road victory. Meanwhile, the Titans try to devour their competition at home. We'll have kickoff for you next on My 48.
Whoa.
Beautiful night here in Clemens. Chris Edwards, Mark Covert, Hannah Brady, the rest of our tremendous team. Thanks for joining us as we close down the regular season. Mark, really excited about this rivalry matchup.
Yeah, super big matchup here tonight. Final week of the season, playoff hopes on the line. Trying to find that positioning, whatever leverage you can find going into postseason play. And no bigger setting in Forsyth County than what we've got here tonight.
Over the last 14 meetings between these two teams, 7-7 in terms of the wins. Very close. There's going to be a lot of emotion on the line tonight, but it's a friendly rivalry. Both coaches talked to us about that. Ready for kickoff tonight. It was East Forsyth who won the toss, deferred their option to the second half. So West is going to put their offense on the field first. Here's the East Forsyth defense, brought to you by the United States Navy. Set your career in motion. Call your local Navy recruiter today. America's Navy, forged by the sea. Watch out for that front four of East Forsyth.
Yeah, and it really backs up well. That crew of linebackers led by number 8, Isaiah Crowell. really great middle linebacker, able to lead this defense and set them up in the right way.
The commit to North Carolina State. On the flip side for West Forsyth, their offense, Burt Rice, the quarterback, makes his first career start tonight. Watch for West to maybe play 2 quarterbacks this evening.
Absolutely, and Rice, a versatile quarterback in his own right. Nice arm, a very live arm as well. And they're going to have to take some of that pressure off the running game. And number 2 there, Javante Long.
Ready to start things with our Arnold Jones Services Heating and Air kickoff. At Arnold Jones Services Heating and Air, we can handle all your heating and air conditioning needs. Beautiful night, finally some football weather. Feels like the playoffs, and it always feels like the playoffs when the Eagles and the Titans get together.
Very cool, brisk night here. A little breeze as well, so until finally playoff weather is here. Everything kicks off next week, but we got one last week to make something happen and make your stake or a claim on this game here tonight.
Andrew Conrad will kick it off. He's been dynamic this year for East Forsyth in the kicking game. 65 kickoffs, 58 of them for touchbacks. Don't look for a big return here from Jontavius Long or from Don Robinson. There's Tay Long, the deep man, the phenomenal running back for Adrian Snow's group. The excitement palpable. 2 rivals ready to collide for the first time in 749 days. A long time coming, but we're glad to have it for you right here on My 48. Off we go from the Village. And it'll be the Titans who scrimmage from the 20. Touchback number 59 for the senior Andrew Conrad. We talked about it a moment ago. First career start for Burt Rice, the sophomore. 11 of 12 through the air this year for 89 yards. Adrian Snow, the longtime head coach here at West, talked about why they made that quarterback change a couple of weeks ago. Really makes the offense a little bit more dynamic.
Right, and he's a more efficient passer back there. He spoke a little bit about that this week. Just letting us know he wants to find some consistency offensively. It can't just be all in that running game. The quarterback position has to be paramount for success here tonight.
West Forsyth in the gold, East Forsyth in the white. The opening play of the game. No surprise. They thought about starting on the ground, now through the air, and incomplete. It was Braylon Morris, the intended target, one of the team's leading receivers. He's got 20 catches this year, but good coverage from the Eagles on first down.
Yeah, Nasir Graham locked him up that time, able to drop back in coverage, read that one well, and jam him at the line. Set that route off, and untimely throw that time. First shot deep down the field, trying to test this secondary. A very talented one for East Forsyth.
Now 2nd down and 10. They will go to the ground. This is Long, who is upended after a pickup of 4, brings up 3rd down.
See, Long even had a little bit of a hole right there, pushing the left side of the offensive line, then bending it back to the right. Good vision, but good team speed by the Eagles of East Forsyth to clean up that tackle before it got going.
First 3rd down of the game, 3rd down and medium here for West Forsyth, the team that's predicated on running the football, Mark, averaging 230 yards on the ground this year. A swing pass, Morris makes the grab, and Morris will get close to the marker. He'll be perhaps a yard short, will depend on the spot as we take another look.
He's real close.
And there are tonight's keys to the game, Mark. Let's dive into those and what's important for these two squads.
Yeah, getting your playmakers into space if you're the Eagles of East Forsyth. Let them work one-on-one and be generating turnovers tonight. Be aggressive and play the ball. Don't worry about the play, but play the football. Try to get your hands on it. As far as West is concerned, pounding the rock, getting Jay Long going early. And on top of that, disciplined football. Limit your penalties and mental mistakes here tonight.
It was a first down, the first 3rd down conversion of the night. They'll go back to Long straight ahead, and he will pick up 6, maybe 7. It's a nice first down run for Tay Long.
And you saw the long vision for Long that time, getting upfield and shifting his way, even in tight spaces, able to wiggle and find some room to work with.
Another look.
It's a really nice job. The offensive line here in the 2 run plays they've had, they've moved the line of scrimmage. You know, Javante Long has had some room to run with so far. If they keep that up here tonight, they're going to set themselves up in good situations offensively.
Mac David being chaperoned off the field here for an equipment malfunction. There is Adrian Snow, his 14th year as the head coach here at West Forsyth, his 20th year overall. 116 of his 157 career victories have come here as the leader of the Village.
Not a bad track record. You got to love the success.
On 2nd and short. A throw here from Rice, and that's a little mistimed on the outside looking for Braylon Morris.
I think maybe that time Burt didn't get his hands on the ball properly. Just kind of came out of his hand a little wonky that time. Just didn't get a good hand on it. Results in that incomplete pass. But now still, even then, it's 3rd and short after that nice first down run. They're giving themselves an opportunity here for a convertible for 3rd down opportunity.
Certainly appears as though East Forsyth going to play for the run as they have no single high safety. It is a rush here, and this will be good enough for another crescent forward first down as Mac David gets his first call of the night. At crescent forward of High Point, you can ride to the game in style with a new F-150.
I really like the tempo that the Titans are playing with the start. Right now, these first 6 plays were a very balanced approach. A few passes shouted in with those runs they've had so far. And the offensive line, again, is getting pushed up front. That's important.
294 yards per game for this Titan offense. Again, they average 230 on the ground. Back to the ground here. David, like a bowling ball, just straight ahead. Tough man to bring down, 6 foot 235, more like a fullback type of runner. He'll get a minimal gain on first down.
Yeah, you want to talk about how elusive Javonte Long can be in this game? There's his alter ego. And that's one of the David twins, or sorry, excuse me, brothers. A big bowling ball. You actually hit it right there. Coach Snow used that exact term. He is a bowling ball in the backfield at the running back position.
2nd down and short. There's Todd Willard, the head coach at East Forsyth. Been there a long time. Rice wants to throw his first completed pass to Andrew Betson, and Betson well shy of the marker. It's the first catch of the season for the senior.
Seen so far, all these passes outside that first deep shot in the game, trying to test his secondary, but everything since then has been rhythm throws, trying to get some confidence in Burt Rice in the quarterback position. Just let him sling the ball to the outside, good catch, locks it in. A short game, but still a completion, and it builds the confidence at quarterback.
West Forsyth has converted their 2 third down opportunities on this opening drive. Oh, East coming on a blitz. Nearly jumped offside. Now on 3rd and long, play action over the middle, complete to Hairston. And he will be short of the marker. The umpire goes down 2, but certainly looks like Ryan Marshburn, the umpire, is okay. It will bring up 4th down.
Well, nice little pass by Rice that time. Pressure was coming in his face that time. Some of that leaking through the offensive line up front, but stay composed, deliver a nice ball over the middle, and gives his offense a chance here on 4th down.
And the officials will take a moment to measure here. Going to be very close to the marker.
Again, just a nice route. Good play overall. It seemed like East had that one sniffed out, getting pressure, more guys blitzing that could be blocked for West. But again, a nice ball by Rice and giving them a chance. Still going to come up short.
Not by much, though. Maybe half a length, not even.
And this gives Coach Snow an opportunity to really think about what he wants to do. Your running game is so prolific that you got to think about taking a shot here on 4th down in the middle of the field. So just some RPO action that time. Pulled the football back out. Good decision by Burt Rice. And again, a nice pass.
9th catch of the season for Hairston, now over 100 yards receiving this year. It'll be 4th down and half a yard. And it certainly looks like the offense going to stay out there for West Forsyth.
You got David and Long in the game right now.
Perhaps a wildcat formation with Long taking the direct snap.
And don't think he won't hand it off to number 20.
Straight ahead. And boy, that is close. I think he got it. And he did indeed on 2nd effort keep the drive alive. Another crescent forward first down. Ride to the game in style with a new F-150 from crescent forward of High Point.
Tell you what, you get a play like that, it's a test of wills. Going right up against each other. You know that football is going to be run straight up the middle. Just get less than a yard to move the sticks. It's exactly what Long did that time. Good read, good pull, and a good enough run to pick up the first.
And you know, one of the things that Todd Willard, the head coach at East Forsyth, told us this week is that his team has got to, and he put a lot of emphasis on this, got to get off the field on 3rd downs. They've not done that tonight as West has converted a pair of 3rd downs and now a 4th down to keep their drive alive.
Well, and beyond that point, last time we saw East Forsyth in week 4 of this season, that was something that we were told as well by Coach Willard. I mean, it's a problem that has persisted throughout the season, allowing long drives to be sustained. It's a very talented team, but they've done a poor job of getting off the field, especially early on in games.
4-yard gain, 2nd down and 6. West has chewed up almost 5 minutes of the game's opening quarter. To the ground again, a sweep for Long, trying to get to the edge. And he is pinballed around for maybe a yard. It's 3rd down.
R.J. Brown came shooting through the backfield that time. Really read it well defensively. Just couldn't bring down Long in the backfield. That strong runner. You see Long there making a tackle broken, but R.J. Brown had him read in the backfield. Great play, just needs to finish that off.
75th tackle of the year for Brown. He leads the team, the 6-foot junior. Saw his parents tonight. They're all decked out with number 5. Got some cardboard cutouts. It was awesome. Third down. Rice. Now Long trying to get to the edge. It's fourth down coming. And a dangerous spot in the field. Decision time here for West Forsyth. Good play by Matthew Jonas, the free safety, up to make the stop.
A great play in space that time. Again, Javonte Long so elusive in space. A tough runner as well as being elusive. Very shifty. Great open field tackle to bring him down, not just from picking up the first down, but even for a loss. And it sets out the punt unit for West Forsyth.
It'll be Braylon Morris to punt. Will be his 12th punt of the season, averaging 39 yards a kick. And East Forsyth keeping their defense on the field here. Nobody back to return. And should be decent field position for the Eagles. Wow, really nice bounce there for Morris inside the 20-yard line. For Morris, that is his 7th kick inside the 20 this year. So West Forsyth gets the football for the first time. When we come back, halfway down with the game's opening period on our Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Friday Night Rivals.
Trophy presentation.
Halfway done with the game's opening stanza. Chris Edwards, Mark Covert, Hannah Brady, the rest of our great team with you from the Village. East Forsyth with their first possession of the game. Mark, a really good drive for West Forsyth to start the ball game.
A very time-consuming drive at that. Got a good look at what they're going to want to do offensively. Really centers around that running game. We knew that coming in, but you can see the focal point being those running backs.
Jalen Rayner, the signal caller for East Forsyth. Split backs to start the game for Todd Willard's club. Around the edge, this is Quan Porter, who is strung out for virtually no gain. Take a look at the starting lineup for East Forsyth tonight. You can transform your life and become part of something bigger. America's Navy, forged by the sea. Just a lot of weapons for this East Forsyth club.
And when we were talking with Coach Willard this week, Quan Porter was one of the names he really wanted to mention. One of those guys that's really shined through and stepped up as the season has gone on.
Give you a look at the West defense here in just a moment. First throw of the night comes this way, where it is hauled in for virtually no gain by Ronnie Christian. It's the second catch of the year for Christian, but brings up third down. As we look at the West Forsyth defense, that front three really good, but watch out for those David brothers there in the middle of the linebacking core.
Yeah, Caleb and Mac, those are the guys that everyone talks about. When you refer to this West Forsyth defense, it's always the David brothers. Between Mac and Caleb, a dynamic duo playing the same position, no less.
Their dad, a All-American at Appalachian State, is a linebacker, coaches the linebackers here at West Forsyth. On third down, Rayner a rollout. And just lives to fight another possession. Good start for West Forsyth. A 3-and-out forced by the Titans, who you know would love to upend the Eagles here at home. Both of these clubs have ambitions of a deep playoff run, and both coaches feel like tonight's game could springboard them into a lengthy playoff stay as Todd Willard, the head coach of the Eagles, looks on.
Well, playing defense like that, if you're West, you've got to be pleased. Not only did you contain Rayner from getting outside and potentially taking off the football, a great runner in his own right. No coverage was blanketed down the field. Great job all around by that defense of West Forsyth.
Time for Andrew Conrad to punt. Doesn't do it a whole lot, just his 10th punt this season, averaging 40 yards a kick. West brings a rush. It dissipates, and Conrad a booming kick.
Whew.
A lengthy kick, and it will be West who will start from inside the 30-yard line. Conrad gets off another boomer, and we will see the Titan offense back on the field when we come back. It's a scoreless game here early in the first quarter from the Village at Clemens.
Topsoil, M&M and Gravy, Marzano, Capital Group, Mosquito Authority, Motorsports Connection, Optimal Health Chiropractic, Hi Guys, Salem Glen Golf Academy, Supreme Golf, The Hive, Three Bulls. Thanks to each of our business sponsors for your continued support of West Forsyth Athletics.
There's Adrian Snow. We mentioned Coach Snow in his 14th year here at West Forsyth. They've won 10 or more games, Mark, 6 times since Adrian Snow has become the head coach. Only 2 losing seasons under Coach Snow's leadership.
It's 2 very well-rounded coaching staffs on the field here tonight. Adrian Snow leads a group that understands what it takes to win football games and take care of their kids.
After a season-long 54-yard punt from Andrew Conrad, it's West Forsyth back to the ground and straight ahead here for a minimal gain on first down. It was Long who got the call again.
And you can see those Eagles are starting to creep up towards the line of scrimmage, and this is where that passing game is going to come in. Burt Rice has to take advantage of the opportunities he gets tonight through the air and make the most of them. He's got to find a way to offset this defense and allow them to start to sit back and open up that running game.
8 carries for 28 yards so far for this Titan offense, averaging about 3.5 yards per carry. Back to Long, trying to find a seam. Good job of this interior of the Eagle defense. Another third down coming.
It's another great stop. Finding a way to stop these running backs before they can get going. That time it seemed like Long had a little bit of room to work with, but it was stopped quickly. Good job at the point of attack by blowing up that line. They got some movement, but still some fight, and the gang tackle by that defense of East Forsyth really helped.
Another opportunity for East Forsyth to get off the field, something they didn't do a very good job of on their first drive. West was 2 of 4 on third down, including a 4th down conversion. Rice dumps it underneath. A lot of running room here for Long. And another third down conversion for the Titans out to the 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 10 on third down.
I'll tell you what, I don't know how they lose track of Javante Long out of the backfield. The guy has been their entire offense primarily here tonight so far. You can't lose him out of the backfield. No one there. The check down was open. A great read by Burt Rice to get it in his hands and get down the field.
There's a flag on the play, though. It's our first infraction of the night. Gary Ollis is our referee. And unsportsmanlike conduct against West Forsyth. That will not make Coach Snow very happy. You know, both of these coaches talked to us this week about, yes, this is a rivalry, sure, but this is a healthy rivalry. They both use the same term, healthy rivalry.
Right.
Coach Willard said, you know, it's not going to get chippy. There's a lot of mutual respect between these 2 coaching staffs. Both coaches admitted there was a time where this rivalry was not very healthy, where it was pretty contentious, but things have certainly turned around over the last couple of years. Coach Snow is saying that, you know, I talk to Todd every day, except this week. Coach Snow has a thing where he doesn't talk to his friends, even if he's playing them. Saw each other at the JV game last night. You saw the hug pregame. These 2 guys, good friends, a lot of respect for these 2 programs, and our first penalty of the night.
I think that really shows when you talk about rivalries. It does start on the field. You lead by example on the playing field, and that really sets up your fan base as to what they can expect going into it.
So now third down and 24. Rice, play action, steps up, wants to throw one deep down the field, and incomplete. A lot of hand fighting. Morris was double covered, and there is a flag down. Will most likely be pass interference on East Forsyth. Keep in mind, in high school football, not an automatic first down. It's a 15-yard penalty, but will not be sufficient to move the chains.
All right, and it would essentially move the football back, though, to where it was on the previous play before that infraction.
Actually going to get a hold here, not a pass interference, so it's just a 10-yard infraction.
Okay.
3rd and 14 coming. One penalty deserves another, I guess.
Not a bad pass that time either, though. Rice stood in there. Some of that pressure coming late. Good job by the O-line, giving him time to throw the football. And just missed that one barely over the top. Tight coverage. I mean, it would have been a tough throw to make, but still, you can see Rice starting to nail those passes, find his spots a little bit more as this game has gone on.
You like that no call on the potential pass interference?
I do. Is hand fighting the whole way down the field. Again, a rivalry game. They're going to fit. They're going to be some hand fighting. There's going to be a little more physical play. These officials have to let them play through some of that.
Another third down opportunity for the Titans. Play action again. Rice dumps it down and caught. It's Micah Hairston who makes the first down catch, but there's another flag down for the third consecutive play. So let's check on the marker.
You're going to see it's in the area of holding on that O-line. Exactly it. Say a really good job by Burt Rice. Again, that time 3 straight plays. He's done a nice job at the quarterback spot. That time climbs up in the pocket, steps up, gives the appearance he's going to take off and run, and then dumps it over the middle. Nice pass, nice play, but all for naught with that holding call.
I feel like we've been on third down and long for the last 5.5 minutes.
Again, you're wasting downs. These are plays in your playbook that have been successful now, and you're watching them go to waste because of those mental mistakes and those errors up front.
2 penalties, 31 yards on West Forsyth, and Coach Snow wants to talk about it with his offense. Sean Joyce, the offensive coordinator for West Forsyth, and now a chance for both teams to regroup here late in the opening period.
Pretty wacky sequence of plays in the last 3 plays. And this is where you got to tighten down. I kind of like the timeout here taken by Coach Snow, allowing these guys to regroup, get them back. But hey, guys, we got a chance still to convert here. We can take a shot down the field. This is a talented secondary, but there has been a little bit of room for these receivers to run behind them. As long as Rice can get the football to them, it's really going to set them up well.
Obvious passing situation here for West Forsyth,
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Unless you're content to go down, and I don't think Coach Snow and this staff are just going to take anything lying down in this game, especially not early on when they've had some success moving the football.
Who do you look to here if you're West Forsyth?
Well, I'd love to say Long, but even coming out of the backfield, that's going to be a task for them. Realistically, Morris has been the guy they've targeted so far tonight. Big target, 6'4", running down the field, and they're giving some cushion here. These defensive backs are playing back.
3rd and 27. Over to make the catch is Morris. Another flag is in. Crowell in to finish the play, but again, we'll check on the flag.
Be interested what that flag is on, because it was essentially on the tackle. That flag was thrown when Morris broke the first tackle on that route. I'm realistically not entirely sure what that guy could be, unless it was something like targeting potentially.
Could be offensive pass interference. And it is.
Okay. It's pushed off a little bit then.
That's what, the 5th consecutive play with a penalty?
Yep.
So the penalty will be refused. It's going to bring up 4th down, and the drive ends for the Titans.
Maybe not a bad thing for that drive to finally end for West. Just a embarrassment of mishaps on the back end of it. Sometimes it's just time to get rid of the drive, start back over, get your defense back out there, and see what they can do on their second drive.
Morris to punt for the 2nd time tonight. Blocked! Morris picks it up out of the air. And good field position for the Eagles. Caleb White finished the play, but a huge block for this Eagle defense.
Just great anticipation. Way too long this time by Morris going up to punt that football. I'll tell you what, nice play getting up in the air.
It was Nick Martin who blocked it.
Another versatile defender. And really great job by Caleb White to run down Morris, a wide receiver in space. You're asking a linebacker to do that. That's a lot to ask him, but he ran him down in space. Great job. And just like that, East is set up in beautiful field position.
Chance to punch in the game's first score. Misdirection. Straight ahead. And spun down as Traylon Ingram after a nice gain Ingram has been sort of the unsung hero for this Eagle offense. Todd Willard saying he's overlooked by some of the other playmakers, but really does it all for this East Forsyth offense.
Oh, 5'8", it's not hard to overlook him, but he has been another guy. Late in the season, he's contributed. He's been on the field and making it happen.
6 carries for 116 yards entering play tonight, but not much on the ground there for the Eagles.
So many playmakers on this offense, and you start at the quarterback position with Rayner, but then it goes to Porter, Ingram, guys who haven't been called yet. Q Brown, another guy who's contributed at the entire season. Just a plethora of playmakers offensively, and they are utilizing their own ways.
3rd and 3. It was a 3 and out for East on the game's opening drive in terms of their opening possession. Do they stick to the ground game here?
I think they're going to throw it this time. Put that football in the air and let Rayner make a decision.
Quick out. Might have been tipped. Called anyway. And down toward the goal line and in. It's Brown in for the score. 8th touchdown catch of the year for the junior. And a Sunbelt Rentals touchdown for East Forsyth. Sunbelt Rentals offering rental locations across the Triad to quickly deliver ready-to-work equipment when and where you need it.
And if there is a premier playmaker outside for this East Forsyth offense, it is Brown. Q Brown, a huge playmaker for this offense. Great in space, great hands. You saw it all on display that time on the touchdown.
Brown, who has offers from Coastal Carolina, Duke, and Charlotte, among others, makes the first impact play of the night. It's a touchdown drive for East Forsyth off the block punt.
Again, a really solid rhythm throw, this time by Rayner going outside. Soft coverage that time. That's too easy for Brown. From only about 10 yards out, makes one man miss. And that was all she wrote on that one.
3 plays, 21 yards, and just 47 seconds for the Eagles to soar to the end zone.
And again, that block on the punt really sets them up well. And from there, it's almost going to be impossible to stop this offense from putting some sort of points on the board.
I mean, how about Brown? 22 catches, now 23, but 22 catches coming in, nearly 500 yards receiving. He's averaging 22 yards a catch.
And we're talking about explosiveness. I mean, that's bonkers. To talk about 22 yards of reception on the season. And it hasn't been on like 10 catches. He's well over 20 now. You can see the versatility and how he has a nose for the end zone as well. Q Brown is such a versatile part of this offense. And when you talk about the playmakers, he has to be amongst the top of the names you've mentioned.
Right now, another Arnold Jones Services Heating and Air kickoff. How does West Forsyth respond in this rivalry matchup? West has had some success offensively, but the last 2 drives have stalled. They will once again start from the 20-yard line. Man, what a weapon.
Woo!
What a weapon Andrew Conrad is. You'll see him kicking on Saturdays next year.
Absolutely. I mean, you can even tell off the tee, the football just takes
It
off.
sounds different.
Yes. Sounds different, looks different, and when you have, as you said, Chris, a weapon like that on your team, especially at the high school level, I mean, that's invaluable.
It sounds almost like a golfer hitting an iron shot pure every time. I don't know what that sounds like, but that's what it sounds like.
You watch enough PGA Tour golf.
That's how I know it's what it's supposed to sound like. Not because of me. Trips to the bottom of your screen for West Forsyth. On the ground. Long for 2 yards.
Again, it just feels like something's got to give offensively right now for West, because that running game, as prolific as it is, can be stopped if you've got 8-9 guys coming up to the box to fill it and make the tackle on whoever it is, whether it's Long, whether it's David. It doesn't matter. Right now, the passing game has to get going, find some consistency.
Play action. This way again for Morris, and that's incomplete.
I like the play call, just couldn't get it there. Short-armed at that time. Burt Rice is supposed to be the guy coming into the game and providing that consistency, a little more efficiency when throwing the football. And right now, just short arms it. Some of that pressure getting up into his face and causing an incomplete pass.
If you're West Forsyth, you maybe think about trying to bring Chris Van Cleek into the game?
I don't think so. Not right now. Of course, they've run that 2-quarterback system for most of the year. But it sounded pretty confident that Rice is going to be the guy here tonight.
3rd and 7, back to the ground, and nothing doing for Long, who has stood up at the line of scrimmage. A trio of Eagles there for the 3rd down stop.
I mean, just swarming and leading the charge that time was Bryant Williams, a great player, a senior on this defense, coming up to make the stop, sniffing that one out. And again, so many Eagles right there Caleb White at the point of attack and waiting for his teammates to get there as well. Just a great team effort so far, wrapping up after that long first drive. This defense seems to have settled in now. They are teeing off on that running game, and they are forcing West to beat them through the air.
Another 3 and out forced by this East Forsyth defense. Todd Willard, in our conversation yesterday, talked about the importance of special teams for his club and how well his special teams were playing. James Studevan, who runs the special teams operations, was the first coach that Todd Willard hired 19 years ago when he got the job at East Forsyth. One of those Mark Covert tee shots, a low line drive.
Worm burner.
And it'll be good field position for East Forsyth as they start their 3rd drive of the game.
I hear no lies. Although mine probably would have gone more to the left or the right.
See if this West Forsyth defense can step up here and force another 3 and out.
Well, they've done a good job for the struggles that this offense has had in the last 2 drives. That defense of the Titans has stepped up. And they have done a great job of containing the offense. Found themselves in an unfavorable situation on the last drive, but realistically, they've done a good job of stymieing some of the impact this offense has had.
Rayner audibling. 10 on the play clock. Straight ahead. Gaping hole here for Porter, who's out across midfield. It's another crescent forward first down on the biggest rush of the night for Quan Porter.
I really love just the point of attack, pushing the offensive line. That's big on big up front, opening a hole for Porter to run through. And really, it almost seemed like he didn't get touched until he was in the 2nd level. Breaks 1 tackle out of the backfield, but after that, he had tons of room to work with.
Pickup of 21 yards. Porter, the senior, over 300 yards rushing this year, has another opportunity, lowers his head, picks up 2 more yards.
Really like him finishing the run, too. Falling forward, taking on the contact, initiating the contact, and finishing the run.
And that will send us to the game's 2nd stanza. A fast-moving opening period in this rivalry matchup. 749 days since these 2 teams last clashed. But tonight, it's the Eagles who were soaring high after the opening 12 minutes. We'll have more for you from the Village coming up on the other side of this break. You're watching the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Friday Night Rivals presented by Roan Law.
Welcome back to West Forsyth, where the Eagles are up 7-0. The last time we saw the Eagles, they played Reagan, and that's their only loss so far this season. We asked head coach Todd Willard what his growth was for his team after that game, and he said, you know, we just got to go back and do what we do, and it's clear tonight that they're playing hard. Chris.
Hannah, thanks so much. Second quarter begins with East Forsyth getting the football. Rayner wants to take a deep shot, looking for Brown. Did he catch it? He did. First and goal.
Well,
Sean Brown, another big play.
really nice pass down the field. Really good job by Sean Brown, giving Rayner space to work along the sideline, throw that ball a little bit to the outside. Nice throw, and look at the toe tap right there by Brown. Excellent catch. Great awareness of where you're at on the field, finishing the play, and now just like that, back inside the 10.
A Crescent Ford first down, first and goal. Rayner gives it away, and not much doing for Porter. By the way, would like to point out, heck of a call by the official trailing the play to say that he did indeed make a successful catch. We've seen that play not been called correctly numerous times this year, as East Forsyth in the Boost Mobile Orange Zone. Boost Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G network. Only orange tonight are the pylons.
Seems that way.
Back to the ground. Rayner straight ahead. And he's down at the 1.
Well, this defense giving up that long pass, but last 2 plays stiffened up, limiting the impact. Rayner so good running the football, and also has a nose for the end zone when he keeps it on the ground. Good job by this West defense. Now, can they finish the drive and stop on 3rd and goal?
4 down territory, you presume here. And it's not going to matter. It's a touchdown for Traylon Ingram. His 7th rushing score of the year. And it's a 2-score lead for East Forsyth.
A lot of smoke and mirrors on that play, just right around the outside. Not really any time to react for this West defense. Ingram, quick hitting, and right into the end zone in a hurry.
That's what Todd Willard told us after the Sunbelt Railroad's touchdown there for East Forsyth. He said, run what you run, do what you do, as he talks to his offensive coaches. There are different wrinkles to the formations, but East is still running the same general concepts, as now Conrad's extra point is good, and it's a 14-point lead for East Forsyth. So, on the first play of the second quarter, the Eagles march down the field. It's Ingram who craps the drive 3 plays later, and it's a 14-point lead for East Forsyth early in the second quarter. A 6-play, 64-yard drive that took 2.5 minutes off the clock gives East Forsyth a 14-point lead, and it's West getting the football back, trailing by 2 scores. Another Arnold Jones Services heating and air kickoff, and this one will again sail into the end zone. Get your heating and air conditioning fall tune-up special from Arnold Jones Services Heating and Air. And now for West Forsyth, Mark, after a really nice drive to start the ball game, it's been back-to-back 3-and-outs for Adrian Snow's club.
And you can see that East offense is starting to get fired up here now. Short drives resulting in touchdowns on back-to-back drives, and the defense can start to smell some of what this West Forsyth offense has been doing, running the football. Again, that passing game has to get fired up, and it has to get something going through the air to back this defense off the line of scrimmage.
Rice remains into the game at quarterback. Long, the single setback. It's Long who just slips. He's going to lose a yard, and one of those turf monsters got up to grab him.
Well, and another thing to note, of course, as the season wears on, you've got a grass field. The middle of the field just starts to get chewed up a little bit more than everything else on the outside, of course, in between the hashes. That's something each team is going to have to deal with if they have that natural grass field. You get in those hashes, it gets a little more slick. The ground's chewed up a little bit more. The grass isn't there, and you don't have nearly as much grip to work with.
Especially with all the wear and tear from soccer and the other sports through the middle part of the playing surface. Second down and 11. High snap, Long brings it down and able to push the pile out across the 20-yard line. Another third down coming for West Forsyth. That was the 13th rushing play of the night for the Titans.
And it may have been probably the best possible outcome for him, just bobbling the ball in the backfield, the high snap, along with the wherewithal just to catch it and get upfield in a hurry. It seemed to be going to be a run for him anyway, so good job getting upfield and picking up what he could. But still, now 3rd and long, this passing attack has to come alive.
2 of 6 on third downs tonight are the Titans. Out route, skying up to make the catch is Bailey, but he is swarmed under immediately. Isaiah Kroll, the commit to North Carolina State, makes the immediate stop.
I'll tell you what, if it wasn't him, it was going to be 2 of his other teammates. Taylor was also over there to play that one. It's a really good job. We've seen that comeback route now several times from this West offense, and East is sitting on it now on 3rd down. 3 different Eagles were over in that area to make the play. Crowell just lowering the boom that time.
3rd consecutive 3 and out for this West Forsyth defense. Morris on to punt. He's had 1 blocked already tonight.
And still no one back deep for East.
No punt block on for the Eagles. A booming kick for West. And downed at the 24-yard line. So perhaps one of the worst starting field positions for East Forsyth as they get the football back. And don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll have the myspot.nc.gov halftime report. That'll include this week's Scholar Athletes, principal interviews, highlights from across the country, and more. And by the way, before we put the ball in play here, looks like there was a flag down behind the play, and it might be against East Forsyth. And it is indeed a hold against the Eagles. And now Adrian Snow will get an explanation. And I believe they're just going to add the infraction to the end of the kick there, since the penalty occurred during the flow of the game.
Good explanation by this officiating crew so far tonight. They've done a really good job so far in this one. Had a crucial call down here with Brown's catch to set up the 2nd touchdown of the night for East Forsyth, and now getting a few of these penalties right. Doing a pretty good job officiating this game so far.
This by far, through the first quarter plus of the game, has been the best officiating crew we have seen,
I think so,
in numerous weeks. So kudos to these guys.
And just remember, it's not just the teams that have to get ready for the playoffs. These officiating crews also have to get fired up and ready to go.
East Forsyth from their own 14. Rayner will keep it. Sidesteps 3 defenders and is out to the 20-yard line. A gain of 6 for Rayner.
Just kind of see the runner that Jalen Rayner is when he has the football in his hands. Really almost Lamar Jackson-esque. You see some of the shiftiness here. Breaks 1 tackle, slips past 2 others before getting upfield and being taken down, but very shifty in the open field for a quarterback and a guy who's just as adept throwing the football as he is running it.
Averages 81 yards a game on the ground. Oh, what a hit. J.D. LeGrant laying the lumber that time on Quan Porter, a huge hit.
And in a hurry, shot through the gap that time, and Lisa, boom. What a play by J.D. LeGrant.
His 76th tackle of the season. Another look.
He just gets right around Ingram that time. And really, Ingram may have had no shot trying to block a defensive lineman, comes straight at him with a head of steam.
East 2 of 3 on third downs tonight. They will not convert this one on the little out route. Catch was made, but not a lot of running room for Winfrey, who made the grab.
And they're waving him forward.
Wow, they will give him a fortuitous spot, so move the chains, another Crescent Ford first down. Check out the newest Ford trucks at crescentford.com.
Nice play, good setup. And curl route just getting enough to move those sticks.
Back to the ground, Porter trying to lower his head, and you know it's almost playoff time when you can hear those pads popping. Charles Miller, the corner, to make the stop.
Yeah, Mac David cleaned it up too. Just want to get a look at that third down, see where he was at. Really close to the marker.
Forward progress, I guess.
Yeah. Gave that one to him.
Don Robinson made the tackle on that third down play, but now 2nd down and 7 coming for the Eagles.
Kind of sense this West defense is starting to play a little more aggressively, like they're aggravated seeing this team, this offense of the Eagles, go down and score 2 times in a row, trying to put an end to it.
Back to the ground, and again, not a ton of running room for Porter. Check that, it was Ingram on the carry. It'll bring up third down.
Ingram, a weapon for this offense, plays in the backfield, can go out wide as well, kind of a wide receiver running back combo. So an offensive weapon for them, so he can do anything, whether it's on the ground or through the air. They trust him to do that. Just another playmaker.
3rd and 3. Rayner will keep it. His 3rd carry of the night. And another first down for Jalen Rayner.
It's really nice situational play calling. Get your best playmaker the football in his hands. Allow him to make the most of the opportunity given to him. Good blocking up front, especially out wide by his wideouts to give him some room to work with and pick up the first.
Another Crescent Ford first down. Check out the newest Ford trucks at crescentford.com. Throw underneath. And a pickup of about 3 or 4. Small completion that time made to Tim Davis, his 7th catch of the season.
Very quick play that time. A lot of these passes so far for East have been those quick hitters, just little comeback routes. Get the ball out of Rayner's hands quickly. You got to think maybe they're trying to set up a deep pass here, take those shots down the field. They've already connected once with Brown.
Rayner 6 for his first 7 through the air tonight, including that lengthy pass down the field. 2nd down. 10 on the play clock. Play action. Rayner in trouble. Eludes 2 defenders and will be a yard short of the mark. Man, just so cagey and quick is Jalen Rayner.
I mean, how elusive is he? And realistically, Chris, when you think about the first time we saw this East Forsyth team in week 4, Jalen Rayner was good, but you didn't see some of this elusiveness. He's developed as the season has gone on.
Todd Willard said before the game against Reagan in week 4, the game was really slowing down for Rayner, the junior quarterback who was forced into action last spring. And you can see maybe the game slowing down even more now in the final week of the regular season. Ingram gets the first down, still on his feet. What a run for Traylon Ingram. First down after a huge play for the Eagles.
You want to talk about getting stronger, working his way down the field. There is a flag, though.
Well, negate a huge run in the area of a hold, Mark.
See, this offense is coming back, but the balance by Ingram working the sideline, getting spun and planting his hand on the ground to keep his balance and keep running down the field.
And it is indeed a hold against East Forsyth. Will be the 3rd penalty of the night against the Eagles.
Really negates a spectacular play and a great individual effort that time by Ingram. Got a nice hole along the left side of the offensive line, and again, planting his hand on the ground to keep his balance. And obviously, there was a reason he got a hole on the left side of the offense.
Both of these teams have had a couple of big plays negated now because of infractions in the game's first half. Now, 3rd down and 12. Rayner to throw over the middle, man wide open. Easy catch made. This is Brown racing into the 2nd level and down to the 21. Sean Brown, another huge gain. And another Crescent Ford first down for the Eagles.
You see it right here. All those short, quick passes paying off. This defense played up. Allowed Sean Brown and some of these other receivers to get down the field and behind the defense. Great job and running after the catch. No one better in Forsyth County than Sean Brown.
A pickup of 43. Rayner now over 100 yards throwing in the first half. It's Porter on the ground for a couple of yards.
Just really impressed by the balance of this offense so far. The Eagles have done a really great job of knowing when to run and knowing when to pass. Situationally, they have been profoundly excellent here tonight. You really have to credit the way that this offense has been run. Ron Horton doing a great job. And Todd Willard's got to be pleased with what he's seen offensively.
164 yards total offense so far tonight. 106 through the air, 58 of it on the ground tonight for the Eagles. And that might take us to a timeout. Some confusion there. It's an official timeout.
Interesting.
They're sending Porter off here.
I think his back plate was kind of hanging off the side a little bit.
So now LeJane Fisher will check in. Fisher, the senior running back, over 230 rushing yards. Tell you what, it's just playmaker after playmaker for this East Forsyth offense. Less than 4 to go in a rapidly moving opening period, or opening half. East trying to punch in what would be just a back-breaking score if you're West Forsyth. Movement up front, and that will most likely, they get a timeout. East Forsyth called the timeout. Might have cost themselves 5 yards. So with East calling a timeout, we will step aside to 14-point lead for the Eagles on the road late in the game's opening half. Stay with us. More coverage from the Village right after this. Stay tuned for the myspot.nc.gov halftime report. We'll have this week's Scholar Athletes, interviews with the principals, highlights from across the country, and more coming up in about 3.5 minutes of game time. But right now, East Forsyth knocking on the door again, trying to punch in another score, which will give them a 3-score advantage.
Well, they've been so efficient to this point.
And in the backfield, gobbled up for a loss. It was Brown who got the call, and again, it was LeGrant who comes in to make the big hit.
You kind of feel that's probably the first time Brown's been coming in motion tonight across like that with the intention of getting the football. And everybody on that defense went right looking to him. And able to find him that time for the second time in the backfield, too. LeGrant having himself a nice little game here in the first half.
He has 4 sacks on the season coming into play tonight. 3rd down and 13. Is this 4-down territory here for East Forsyth?
I don't know. With the kicker like the one they've got, maybe not so much.
Rayner to throw. Pressure in his face. Spins into a tackle and a sack. That's a coverage sack there, isn't it, partner?
Well, and on top of that, it takes them potentially out of field goal range. On top of that, we talk about 4-down territory. It might be now where they're in no man's land.
Again, LeGrant was involved.
Just creating that pressure. Rayner so good at escaping pressure normally, had nowhere to go. Really good job by that front 7, collapsing the pocket and keeping contained at the same time. It's a very hard job to do against a player like Jalen Rayner. They did a great job of containing him and building him inside the pocket, not allowing the sack.
Davion Eldridge also in coverage there and helped with the sack for West Forsyth. Now 4th and 20, and before the play, whistles and a flag. I believe it'll be a motion on East Forsyth. And it is indeed a procedure penalty.
May have been fortunate there too, and they're going to punt this one away this time. Just such a promising drive up to these last 2 plays. Last 3, really. A tackle in the backfield and the sack, and now the procedure penalty backing them up an extra 5 yards. Had a good opportunity towards the end of the half to put points on the board, and now you get nothing out of it.
Just the 2nd punt of the night for Conrad. His first, traveled a season-long 54 yards. Trying to pin the Titans back deep. Low snap, but plenty of time for Conrad. And that one will hit inside the 20 and be downed at the 15. So for Conrad, his 6th punt this season that has been down inside the 20-yard line. And it is West Forsyth who gets the football back. 2 timeouts for West, 1:53 seconds. Remember, it was East Forsyth who deferred their option to the second half. So it almost feels like a must-score situation here to seize a little bit of momentum if you're West Forsyth.
And even just get something going. Really, the way this game started, West had all the momentum offensively. East couldn't get anything going. Since then, the script has completely flipped. And these offenses have exchanged momentum. West would do good to find some momentum here late in the half.
They'll start on the ground. Like Long might have stumbled out of the starting block there, but he'll pick up 6 out to the 21.
Did a really great job of finishing the run. I think you're right, Chris. Just slipped on the handoff, but worked his way upfield, backs his way in, and does not stop moving his legs and his feet. And you can drag people with you when you're that big and you're that explosive with the football in your hands.
Rice wants to pass, has a man open. Catch made by Bailey, and then spins out of bounds. A nice pickup, another Crescent Ford first down. Check out the newest Ford trucks at crescentford.com.
Again, seeing that route, that comeback route has been a staple of this offense here in the first half. That time it works, picks up a fresh set of downs, and stops the clock as well.
Just the third first down for West Forsyth tonight. Back to the ground, Long runs into a tackler, but drags him with him for an extra couple of yards.
I think Javante may have actually had a hole just to the left of him. Ran right into a defender that time that was being blocked by one of his big guys up front. If he slows it down for just a second, sees that hole develop to the left, cuts back, he had a lot of room to work with on the left side of that offensive line. Just a little bit too headstrong.
Long off the field here for this second down play. Less than a minute to go. Down 14, and whistles stop the proceedings. Procedure penalty, it appears, against West Forsyth. And right now the Titans having a tough time, Mark, just getting out of their own way.
We saw a few drives ago, just penalty after penalty after penalty, and it just did not stop. And even East was contributing to some of that, but West, since that drive, has just had no ability to get out of their own way and not commit these fouls.
Third penalty, 36 yards in penalties on East Forsyth, or West Forsyth so far tonight. Second down and 11. A draw, and David carries a man with him.
Good Lord.
And brings up third down, and Adrian Snow will call a timeout.
You can see the bowling ball mentality right there. Exactly what Coach Snow told us throughout the week. He is a bowling ball. He is a load to handle back there in the backfield. And Mac David, not just a great running back, but also a great linebacker. One of those guys that platoons, not because you have to, but because you want him on the field.
One of the things that Todd Willard, the head coach at East Forsyth, told us going into the game was that his defense really had to be able to stop the run. So far tonight for West Forsyth, 16 carries for just 48 yards for an offense that averages over 230 yards per game on the ground.
So that's mission accomplished up to this point. Of course, you have to finish the football game, but you're looking at that, what, 3 yards a carry right now? I mean, that's not what this offense wants to do running the football. Not that East has been a whole lot better, but they've been able to find plays in the passing game, which is exactly what this West offense has not been able to do so far.
So as you look ahead toward the second half, it is going to be about West finding a little bit of passing game to keep the defense honest, right?
Well, and it's going to start also defensively because East gets the football to start the second half, stopping them and seizing that momentum back. At least something to go back in your favor to open up the half.
West Forsyth just 2 for 7 on third downs tonight. East brings a rush. Man open over the middle, but it's behind Hairston, the intended receiver. Actually had a couple of guys open across the middle of the field.
He did. A few guys streaking into that secondary. I think he also had Andrew Benson, tight end, coming right across the middle as well. So just a missed opportunity that time. Not exceptionally great coverage. West got what they wanted out of the play call. Just the execution was not there in the throw. Behind.
Now another punting situation. This will be the 5th punt of the night for Braylon Morris. He's averaging 42 yards per kick. He's had one blocked, nearly had that one blocked. Brown will watch it roll all the way inside the 20. What a kick down to the 10-yard line for Morris. His 8th punt this year that has been downed inside the 20-yard line. And I imagine Coach Willard may just take a knee and head to the locker room happy to be up by 14.
Very hard fought first half. His offense really responding here, especially in the second quarter. Found ways to get going. Some of that consistency, not perfect, but better than what they started with.
56 yards on the punt for Morris. Believe it or not, that's not his season long. His season high, 70 yards on a punt earlier this campaign.
Well, you can see some of those low punts, they start to get that roll, more favorable bounce for them in that situation.
This time of year, too, the ground a little harder. Might be able to get a little bit more roll.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't look like the Eagles are going to get in that victory formation and just be happy to take it to the locker room leading by 14 points. A hard-fought, competitive first half. Hannah will get in position to grab Todd Willard here in just a moment. But, Mark, if you're Todd Willard and The defense for East Forsyth, you have to love the way that your team has competed so far through the first 24 minutes.
And really the way that they finished those first 24 minutes. Starting out a little sluggish, the defense allowing a long drive to take place for this West offense, but after that, not much for the Titans offensively, and then offensively for the Eagles, just a great job of bouncing back from a slow start, putting some points on the board, and showing some of that explosive playmaking that they're so well known for.
Yeah, 6 of 7 through the air in that first half for Jalen Rayner, over 100 yards passing, had that 43-yard throw, averages 15 yards per completion for the junior quarterback, who's just gotten better as the season goes along. For West Forsyth, we talked about it, predicated on running the football, 16 rushes for 48 yards in the first half. And Hannah standing by with Todd Willard. Hannah?
I look okay, guys.
You look great.
Hey, if I don't break it, well, sorry.
I'm here with head coach Todd Willard. Coach, you're up 14-0. You know, what is your biggest takeaways from this first half?
Hey, just happy to be ahead. And great thing is we got the ball coming out of half. We got to stay on schedule. We got off schedule at the end there of that last series on offense.
A couple of penalties already in this first half. You know, what are you hoping to change in this coming second half?
Well, I don't want to change too much. If I can get 14 more points, I'll be happy, all right?
Awesome. Your running game has been really strong so far. How are you hoping to continue that coming back out?
Well, I'm hoping we can make a couple more adjustments so we can open the holes a little bit better, so we're going to get working on that right now.
Awesome. Well, good luck in the second half,
Thanks
Coach.
so much. I appreciate it.
Chris and Mark.
All right, Hannah, thanks a lot. It's a 14-point lead for the Eagles on the road. They'll try to maintain that as the second half gets underway. Stay with us. We'll have the myspot.nc.gov halftime report coming up on the other side of this timeout. You're watching the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Friday Night Rivals presented by Roll Law, and we'll have more coverage from the Village when you come back.
Throughout the 2021 Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Friday Night Rivals season, Biscuitville will recognize an exceptional senior student athlete from each participating school with a plaque presentation prior to each game. This week's Biscuitville Scholar athletes are from West Forsyth High School, Aquavian Rush. West Forsyth's Aquavian Rush plays varsity football and on the Titan Leadership Council for football. He's an AB Honor Roll student, a Crosby Scholar, and was accepted into the National Society of High School Scholars. In his free time, Aquavian volunteers at the YMCA and local nursing home. And from East Forsyth High School, Traylon Ingram. East Forsyth's Traylon Ingram plays varsity football and was on the state championship teams in 2018 and 19. He's a member of the Finance Academy program and plans to attend UNCG next fall to study finance. Traylon also donates his time with the Out of the Garden Project to help eliminate childhood hunger and food insecurity in the Triad. Aquavian and Traylon and other nominated students are competing for a $5,000 Biscuitville Ultimate Student Athlete Scholarship to be awarded at the end of the season. Since 1966, Biscuitville has been serving up authentic Southern food made fresh locally from sourced ingredients. Stop by a Biscuitville near you for the flavor of local.
Welcome back to the myspot.nc.gov halftime report. I'm now joined with Kevin Spainhour, principal of the West Forsyth High School. Thanks so much for being here tonight.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here as well.
Absolutely. So I know there's been a lot of challenges with COVID. How nice has it been to have students back in the building?
Yeah, students just bring a certain energy to the school. And so, yes, we've had some challenges. When you've been out of school for 18 months, there's challenges coming back. But it's just been so nice to have that energy back. We've got nearly 2,300 students here, and just having that energy has been really great for our staff.
Awesome. And I know that you are a new principal. You transitioned last spring. How has that been for you, and what kind of traditions have you learned about, and how has that really created the culture for West?
Yeah, so I started in March of last spring, and this is a great school. It's a great tradition. It's really a community-based school, and we're honoring one of those traditions tonight with Coach Pat Murphy. We're doing a scholarship tonight for him, and in his honor. And so there's just a lot of different traditions that really that makes the Titan pride stand up. So
awesome. Well, thank you so much for hosting tonight's game and for letting us be out here.
Absolutely. We really appreciate you guys being here and taking part in the village.
We love being here. Thanks so much. We'll be right back with more at the myspot.nc.gov halftime report.
His favorite band memories are of the bus ride home after games and competition. Three-year member of the Color Guard, and she is planning on attending either NC State or Appalachian State University. Her favorite memories are winning with Jenna and the bus rides home after competition. Next, Ethan Phillips being escorted by Angela Phillips. Ethan is a four-year member of the saxophone section and is planning to attend Forsyth Tech, then NC State University to major in mechanical engineering. Ethan's favorite band memories are of bus rides home after band events. Next, Peyton Putnam is escorted by Lisa Putnam and Chip Putnam. Peyton has been a member of the saxophone section for 4 years and has served as section leader for 3 years. She plans to attend a 4-year university to major in chemistry and minor in music. Her favorite band memory is of the East Surrey competition her freshman year. Next, we have Cameron Sluter is being escorted by Scott and Becky Sluter. Cameron has been a member of the percussion section for 4 years and is serving as the percussion section leader. Cameron plans to attend the University of Tennessee to major in civil engineering. His favorite band memory is the first drum line third quarter performance after returning to school this year. Next, we have Wyatt Porter being escorted by Marsha Porter. Wyatt is a 4-year member of the low grass section and is serving as the baritone tuba section leader this year. He plans to attend the university to major in forensics, and his favorite band memory is winning grand champion at our first competition his sophomore year. Next, Hannah West being escorted by Brooke Gartley. Hannah has been a member of the Color Guard for 3 years and is planning to attend NC State University to major in mechanical engineering. Her favorite memory of marching band is meeting all of our new chicks inside jokes and auditions and having them all become part of the Color Guard family. She loves them all so much. Next, we have Aaron Wilmot being escorted by Derek and Sandra Wilmot. Aaron has been a member of the flute section and is serving as section leader.
Welcome back to the myspot.nc.gov halftime report. I'm now joined with Rusty Hall, the principal of East Forsyth High School. Thanks so much for being here again with me tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Love this opportunity, as always.
Awesome. Well, what has a normal football season meant for your school so far?
Oh, it's been amazing. Our students have really needed this for their social and emotional well-being.
Yeah.
The school pride, all of that spirit comes from a Friday night. And it's been amazing to see. You know, we got a great student section that traveled with us tonight. And so it's just great to see some normalcy. And Friday Night Lights is normalcy.
Absolutely. And what impact does, you know, your student athletes, your athletic program, what impact do they have on your students?
Really, we hold our student athletes to really high expectations. And so they're the leaders at our school. And so not only do they shine on the field or on the court, they shine in the classroom, they shine throughout the school. Many of them sit on student council and sit on my advisory committee. And so they're just looked up to by other students. And so really our underclassmen and using them as mentors for our underclassmen, it's great so that we produce well-rounded students.
That's amazing. And what have you taken away and what has most impressed you from, this 2021-2022 football team?
This football team has so much heart. They've been down many times and have come through. They are a great team. They love each other. They work hard for Coach Willard, and it's just amazing to see their drive and their dedication during this football season.
Well, we can absolutely see it every day and every time we're on the field with you guys.
Yes.
So thank you again for being here with me today.
Thank you. Thank y'all for doing this for us and for all our high school programs.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure. Before the game, I had a chance to speak with one of our sponsors from the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services, and here's what they had to say. Welcome back. I'm now joined again with Carell McRae, the Senior Program Manager for COVID Response. Thanks so much for being here with me again.
Good to be with you. Good to be with you.
Absolutely. So can you tell us, again, just for our knowledge, who you are and what your role is?
Yeah, so my name is Carell McRae, and so I am one of the senior program managers on the COVID response team. And so what I do is make sure that we're having a good COVID response on the ground, and as we hope and they move back in towards recovery, is making sure that we reaching those communities that are hardest impacted by COVID-19, and making sure they have the resources to access the treatment and clinical response that we're trying to see in the communities.
Awesome. And can you give us an update of what the stats are about COVID currently in our area?
Yeah, so currently we still see a high level of transmission in our community, relatively high new cases that we're seeing. So that's one of the reasons why we're out here really trying to get everybody vaccinated and letting you know that the resources are in Forsyth County. Forsyth County does a great job in terms of the COVID response, and so finding that information in the community is not a problem.
Awesome. And where can people go if they would like to get vaccinated?
West Forsyth fans, if you would, please stand up in the stands.
So one of the things that we can do is check the Forsyth County website, as well as we begin to move around the community, that we actually have some sites going on. We actually have some good events coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
And so those are posted on the community's Facebook page.
Awesome. And I know you told me before you're vaccinated. Would you like to share again why you chose to do so?
Yeah, absolutely. So as we get to go into the fall season, we just had homecoming, so that was one of the reasons why I wanted to make sure we were getting vaccinated, so we can actually experience and have that good return back to some sense of normalcy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate all your information and for being out here tonight with me again. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be right back with more after this next break. Welcome back to the myspot.nc.gov halftime report. I'm now joined again with event and branding manager DJ Hargrave of the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds. Thanks for being here again.
Thanks, I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely. So I know we've talked before and you've mentioned ice skating. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure, so public ice skating usually happens on Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds. We have public ice skating hours. You can pay $10 and an additional $3 if you don't have skates and you need to borrow some of ours. We do birthday parties, group lessons, individual lessons, and it's really a good time. Even if you're a first-time ice skater, I really encourage you to come on out and give it a try.
Awesome. And what are some more events, coming up in the winter that people can expect?
So right now we have Carolina Thunderbirds hockey. They actually have a game tonight, and they do tomorrow night on Saturday. They'll be playing throughout the season up until April. And then we also have a monster truck show coming up in 2 weeks. We have a dog show coming up. We have a lot of good stuff. You can go to WSFairgrounds.com and go to our events calendar to get the full list of upcoming events.
Amazing. That sounds awesome. Well, thanks again for being here with me tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Chris and Mark.
All right, Hannah, thanks a lot. Really excited about that ice skating rink. It's going to be great when it gets cooler. I'm going to go out and do a little ice skating, too, at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds. Pretty pumped about that. Pretty pumped about this game we've got going on, too, this big rivalry matchup, Mark. 14-0 East Forsyth leading here at the break. As we take a look at some of the halftime stats. And when you look at the numbers, Mark, really spells out how good of a first half it was for East Forsyth, both offensively and defensively.
Again, such a slow start, really, for the Eagles. But once they got their traction and got their footing in this game, they would have really put together some solid drives offensively and defensively. 14 points on back-to-back drives, and really the only bugaboo has been those penalties, the 4 for 36.
Yeah, both teams penalized probably a little bit more than they would like in that first half. How about the job Jalen Rayner did in that first half, though, managing the offense for East Forsyth?
And really, he's beyond a game manager. He is the dynamic playmaker for this offense, but when you have to reduce your role and dial back a little bit, he did a really good job of that, managing the game, taking what the defense gave him, and choosing his spots to make an impact.
We've seen a lot of games here in the CPC, the conference, the Central Piedmont Conference here, and no doubt this is probably one of, if not the toughest 4A conference. You look at the hopefuls for the playoffs, Glenn and Reagan there at the top of the standings. You see the RPI ranking that's new from the NCHSA this year. We're going just to 4 state champions. The RPI determines your seeding. And all of these teams have a great shot to get into the playoffs. According to some of the projections that were released earlier this week, Mount Tabor is in as the last team in the playoffs as a wild card. But certainly Glenn, Reagan, East, and West, they're all assured themselves of being in the playoffs.
It's something we've heard all year from many different coaches. It's something we've known all year just from what these teams are. This conference is so competitive, and you just see the talent level that oozes from it. And right there, you just see in the rankings, it's a testament to how strong this conference is and the depth that it has.
Adrian Snow, the head coach of West Forsyth, told us earlier this week in our conversation that this league and playing this schedule is going to make everyone better come playoff time.
Well, absolutely, because you've been tested all year. You've essentially been playing playoff football almost every single week in conference play, and that can't do anything but benefit these teams as they go into postseason play. And you just, again, look at those records, the depth here. Any one of these teams can make a run. You look all the way down to that 5th-seeded team in Davie County, and even they are dangerous when they get things rolling. So you can't take any of these teams lightly when it comes to playoff time. We've seen almost every one of these teams this year, and they have the talent to go on runs here in the postseason.
All right, Mark, each week during halftime of our Friday Night Rivals broadcast, we'll be showcasing outstanding Thursday night lights and Friday Night Rivals game highlights from across the country. Here are some of the great highlights from last week's action.
On every play so far. Full screen play set up inside, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Big Ben Roberts. And Roberts takes it to the house for an East touchdown.
There's the throw. Man is open, falling down and making the catch at the 25-yard line.
So here at the gun. Give on the far side. McReynolds slows down, buys some time, and turns on the juice. McReynolds 51 yards for the touchdown.
4-5 conversion, play action, and pass in the big hit.
Williams, he pirouette in the backfield, and he turns. Had a man behind everyone. Can he get there? Caught, and he's going to walk.
Pass, Balistreri with time, goes back over the middle, over the deep, into the end zone, caught, touchdown, Homestead.
After the penalty, 1st and 12. Fortune, here's Grimes. Grimes down the sideline. Look at Grimes go. Off to the races. Nobody's going to catch him. 5th touchdown tonight. Pump of the fist. Shake of the head. Scoring!
It's for for North Myrtle Beach and 3 for Hartsville. Here's the kick by Nick Munn. It's right up the gut. He's got a hole. He breaks it to the 40, 45, 50. The kicker he's got to beat to the 45, to the 30, to the 20, the 10, 5. Touchdown, Hartsville on the return. He brings it all the way back to Marion Cove.
Good to hear our friend Patrick Johnson, one of the best in the business, on those highlights this week. Really excited to hear PJ's voice always. Excited about the second half we've got coming up here tonight too, Mark.
Yeah, absolutely. And a great game that we had in the first half. It's going to be really whether or not West Forsyth can find that footing and that success they had very early on in this game, recapture some of that magic and get it going to start the second half.
Both teams out there going through their warm-ups here in the second half. We talked about it during the flow of the play in that first half. Certainly feels like West Forsyth has to establish some semblance of a passing game early in the second half, doesn't it?
And that's really where we started this game with. We knew they were going to be able to run the football. We knew they had the capacity to run the football. There's so many great players in that backfield between Javante Long, and you go to Rice, the quarterback, of course, but then Mac David, the other running back that spells him there. Burt Rice has to get something going in the passing game. He's been looked upon for consistency here in this game, given his first start of the season, and now he's got an entire half of football, only down 14. Yeah. You take East's best shot, and you're only down 14 points. You still got life. Just got to be able to go and find it.
All right, revisiting your keys to the game, it looks like for East Forsyth, they've check on the first two keys.
Yeah, absolutely. You talk about getting those turnovers, forcing the ball in bad situations for this West offense. Did a great job there, and getting the playmakers in the space, for the most part, very successful with that in the first half. Pounding the rock for West has been a little harder to come by. This East defense did a really good job of stacking the box, but still played relatively disciplined football, just eliminating those penalties and getting in your right mind.
Certainly feels like the first drive of the third quarter going to be important for both of these teams. Obviously, East wants to expand their 14-point lead for West. It's about maintaining that 14-point deficit and giving your offense a chance.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's going to be such a huge drive here to start the second half. If this West defense can come out and make a statement to start the second half that they're still capable of playing in this football game and still have the will to win, it's going to be on this drive to start the half.
Big rivalry matchup, as we've told you. First time these two clubs have met in 749 days. Coach Snow walking over to get into position with Hannah. He'll chat with her here in just a moment and get his thoughts as West Forsyth honoring some folks on the field here at halftime. Really intriguing first half between these two nemesis. A friendly, a healthy rivalry, if you will, and Hannah standing by with the West Forsyth head coach.
Thanks, Chris. I'm here with West Forsyth's head coach, Adrian Snow. Coach, couple penalties in this first half. What are your biggest takeaways?
Ultimately, we got to keep shooting ourselves in the foot. Doesn't help ourselves. They're a good team. When you play good teams, you got to take care of business.
I gotcha. And what's your message to your team in the locker room coming back out in the second half?
Well, we got to clean some stuff up, and our defense did a great job holding them down there right before halftime to help us out. Down 2 scores, get the ball, take care of business, and go from there.
Thanks, Coach. Good
hey, I need me a pair of shoes like them.
Oh, thanks. Chris and Mark.
Hannah, some loud shoes tonight for you on the sideline. A loud second half on the way next. Stay with us for our more coverage from West Forsyth. Because like the audio's off.
The audio.
I'll explain. Yeah. 14-point lead for East Forsyth here at the break. Chris Edwards, Mark Covert, and the sharp-dressed Hannah Brady on the sideline. How about that from Coach Snow? Talking about Hannah's boots there at the end of the first half.
Hannah showing out. Nice snakeskin boots here tonight. So
fashion should be a statement, not a question. Just remember that as we get ready. There's those boots for Hannah. There you go. They're loud, all right.
Yeah.
Coach Willard looking on, has to be pleased with the way his team performed over the first 24 minutes.
Yeah, not a bad job in the first half. Again, you're taking the best shots that West had to give in the first half. Very hard-fought game in that first half, and right now that 14-point advantage really feels a lot bigger than just 14 points if you really ask either side right now. It's going to be such a pivotal drive here to start this half and see if this West defense is still going to be up to the task to containing the offense of East Forsyth.
East gets the football to start the third period as we get ready for an Arnold Jones Services kickoff. Avoid costly breakdowns with energy-saving agreements from Arnold Jones Services Heating and Air. It'll be Alejandro Morlilian to kick it away, the junior. 20 touchbacks so far for the junior who played soccer, had never seen it down a football at all until he was recruited to play for the Titans this season. Off we go in the second half. And it'll be East who starts from the 20.
Anything you can do, I can do just as well, if not better.
Two big weapons for these two clubs.
Absolutely.
All right, there's Jalen Rayner. Really nice first half for the East Forsyth quarterback. 6 of 7 through the air, 106 yards, the touchdown pass. Rayner, 5 carries for 11 yards. Really did it all for this East Forsyth offense in the opening half.
It really pick and chose where he was able to make an impact in the first half, really through the air. And if this West defense is going to have a chance to get themselves back in the game, it's going to be about continuing to contain Rayner and limit his damage.
Rayner, quick throw to Davis to start the second half. And it's Davis still on his feet, stretching forward for 6.
Really like the effort. Broke a few tackles, stayed on his feet that time. Davis, the big body out on the edge, able to keep his feet and get a few yards after contact.
How important is that throw for Rayner? A short throw just to build some confidence coming out of the locker.
Well, and that's just what the offense does, though. Realistically, it's not an offense that predicates itself on taking deep shots all the time or working underneath. They'll mix it up. They want to get the ball in the air, and they'll do whatever they can to make it happen.
Second down to the ground for the first time this half. Not much running room there for Quan Porter, who had a nice first half. Porter, 8 carries for 29 yards and sets up a third down and short for the Eagles.
Again, after that first half, this offense operated pretty well overall, and last time we saw them against Reagan, Coach Willard admitted they tried to do too much in that game. They've really settled back down since then.
Design quarterback run for Rayner, lowers his head and moves the chains. Another Crescent Ford first down. Test drive a new EcoSport at Crescent Ford in High Point. It's got the things you need to do the things you've always wanted.
And that's a play that we didn't see the last time we saw East Forsyth either. It's going to be one of those plays that's just quick hitting, getting the ball down the field and getting enough for the first down instead of trying to take a shot down the field and pick up a huge gain in a chunk of yards. Just get enough for the first down and continue the drive.
West Forsyth showing some pressure. They back off. Rayner, an out route, intercepted. A lot of running room for the Titans. It's Marcus Wilson who finds pay dirt. The sophomore, his first ever varsity season, and his first career interception goes for 6.
Looked like miscommunication by East on the edge. Rayner going for the quick out. His receiver kept running straight down the field. Nowhere to go with that one. And Robinson was sitting all by himself. You'll see Rayner throwing the ball out. There's no receiver out there because he kept streaking down the field. Robinson, great job sitting on it. Excuse me, Wilson. And what a great play by the corner to sit on that route, come up, and then run it back and finish the play for the touchdown.
Wilson comes from a huge football family. His brother plays at Georgia. His other brother's in the 8th grade. Adrian Snow said the younger brother could start for us today. But what a job by West Forsyth on defense. It gets the Titans on the board. West Forsyth hanging their hats on defense all season long, and it's that defensive unit that comes up to make the huge defensive play. Titans down by 7. More third quarter coverage when you return to the Village. We'll be back with our Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Friday Night Rivals. Seven-point ball game all of a sudden early in the third quarter. A pick 6 for Marcus Wilson, 24 there in the middle of your screen, gets the Titans right back into it. By the way, on that touchdown play, there was a personal foul assessed to East Forsyth. So now West will kick off from the plus 45 as we get ready for another Arnold Jones Services kickoff. And Mark, maybe that's the play that West needs to jump right back into the game.
It is the drive that we talked about at halftime being so pivotal to what West was going to do here in the second half. And they are the beneficiary of some miscommunication from that East Forsyth offense. Cashes in, gets a touchdown. Just like that, we've got a 7-point ball game.
Now Morelia to kick it away. And another touchback. That one might have gone through the uprights.
Oh, long field goal.
Hey, that should count as like 2.5 points. So now, after a nice start to that drive to open the third quarter, the pick 6, what does East Forsyth do offensively with Rayner and the rest of their squad as they come back out?
I don't think there's much to change, to be completely honest with you. Again, it's one miscommunication that results in that turnover, that interception for a touchdown. So as long as you're on the same page and everyone is there on the same page, especially when you're putting the football in the air on quick passes, that's going to be the paramount thing. But realistically, they started that drive off well, running it, moving the ball down the field.
They'll start on the ground. Not a whole lot of running room for Porter. Maybe a yard.
Here is the difference now, though. This defense is fired up. Their energy is back.
And it was Fisher on the carry, beg your pardon.
You can see it, the way that they are now playing, that confidence is back behind them. That's what one play can change the entire complexion of a game like this, where now they're down 14. All of a sudden, it's a 7-point ball game. They've got life defensively.
Adrian Snow, the head coach of West Forsyth, could not sing the praises anymore of his defense. They've only allowed 13 points per game. Another dangerous throw is caught, and a nice move made. It'll be a third down coming as Sean Brown makes the grab.
It's just a wonder sometimes how Brown even makes a play like that. Of course, the catch, but there's 2 defenders out there with him. Just that wiggle and that elusiveness. Started running backwards, but still able to get upfield and set his offense up nice. The third and short.
East 6 for 8 on third downs tonight. Trying to keep the drive alive. West would love to get it back and have a chance for the game-tying score. Third and short.
Got to think of passing down here. Rayner's going to have the football in his hands.
West shows blitz. A run play, and it's not going to get there. It's Porter on the run. And this defensive line that has caused opponents fits all year long gets to the football. Caleb David, the first man through.
Again, those players are starting to find some motivation. That emotion can make a change. You're seeing 4 to 5 Titans in the area to make that stop. Porter had nowhere to go with that football for the second drive in a row now for this half. This offense for East Forsyth has been stymied.
Now Andrew Conrad to punt. His third punt of the night. This is Robinson on the return. He bobbles it. Picks it up. Bobbles it again. And West Forsyth recovers. Boy, dangerous play there. But now for the first time in this third quarter, we will see the West Forsyth offense on the field trying to even this ball game up.
And you're going to see right here, just goes right through his hands. Robinson maybe taking his eyes off the ball a little too soon, then drops it again. Unfortunately for him, one of his teammates there to recover that football. It's right there.
It might have been Robinson that got in to recover as well. Rush was also in there. They start on the ground with a rush. It's Long, fights ahead for 4 yards.
You know, this is a game where you've got two opponents that are so familiar with each other. Coach Snow told us best, there's no secrets on what they do and what that offense for West Forsyth does either. This is a rivalry built on knowledge.
Play action over the middle and incomplete. Hairston, the intended receiver. There is a flag down. Heavy pressure in the face of Rice, the quarterback. And we'll check on the laundry. Both teams penalized a fair amount in the first half. It looks like East Forsyth will decline the penalty. Illegal receiver downfield against West Forsyth, and it will bring up a third down.
Can't you feel it, Chris? The intensity?
Yeah.
There's a tension now in the air. The rivalry that we were told all about all week and was talked about. Friendly, yes, but it's still intense.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you don't want to go out and beat the other guy. Bragging rights are on the line.
And you can start to feel that in the air now. The intensity level in this entire stadium has gone up a notch.
Third down, play action. Rice to throw over the middle. Hairston's got it to move the chains. Just the third down conversion for West Forsyth tonight, and a crescent forward first down.
Suddenly momentum now really shifting in the favor of the Titans. What a snag over the middle that time. Just a great catch by Hairston to reach out and pluck that one out of the air.
Second catch of the game for Hairston. Back to the ground. It's Long who pinballs his way for 3 yards.
You were kind of wondering how this momentum would shift over to the offensive side of the football. In their first third down attempt, Rice put it right on the money that time for Hairston to go out and make that play. A beautiful throw to put it on him, and where only he was going to be able to make a play on that football.
Rice now 8 out of 13 through the air for 59 yards. That 19-yard play a moment ago, his longest throw of the night. Now second down. Back to Long again. And stretches inside the 40. It's third and short.
There hasn't been a whole lot of run room, it's felt like, for this running game so far tonight. But this offensive line is changing the line of scrimmage. They're pushing that front for East Forsyth back, and they're giving Long a chance to get yards.
Long again, misdirection. And will be close to the marker, will depend on the spot.
I mean, really, really close to that marker. And more often than not, this officiating crew has given them that first down here tonight.
And it will be fourth down and decision time for Adrian Snow and his offense.
The way this game has gone here over the last few minutes, starting off with that pick six on the first drive defensively, then a stop. Now the offense has found some sort of rhythm with the tempo that they've had. I say go for it.
West converted their only fourth down attempt in the first half. It was on the game's opening drive. They will leave the offense on the field here.
Two-back set.
And this goes to Mac David, and he didn't get it. The East defense holds. And maybe that's the momentum-changing play for the Eagle defense.
What a play, firing off the edge. You know it's a run. R.J. Brown shoots in off the edge and walks David down from the backside. That is a heck of a play. Coming in, trying to tackle one of the biggest ball carriers in the county, no less.
Now, after that sudden change, if you're East Forsyth, you look for a deep ball here, Mark.
Take a shot, get it into your playmaker's hands. Brown, the biggest playmaker in his own right in the first half of this offense. He's on an island right now, out wide at the top of your screen.
Nearing the halfway point of the third quarter. Rayner calls his own number and picks up 3.
And realistically, the approach that East might be taking on this drive, they feel that momentum that has swung back over to the opposing sideline. Now you got to try to take it back. And how do you do that? You out-physical them up front. If you believe you have the better team, you are going to stick it down their throat, and you're going to make sure they understand that you are the better team on the field here tonight.
Rayner, a quick drop over the middle. Man is wide open. It's caught by Ingram out of the backfield. Stumbles his way through the defenders, and the Eagles soar to the end zone. Ingram with his second total touchdown tonight, and a Sunbelt Rentals score for East Forsyth. Sunbelt Rentals offering rental locations across the Triad to quickly deliver ready-to-work equipment when and where you need them.
The running back wide receiver combo, Ingram, had a really nice play in the first half that was brought back by a flag where he kept his balance. And you see it again, the tremendous balance to break the tackle, spin out, maintain his footing, and then get down the field with a burst of speed.
A 41-yard pass play for a touchdown. Conrad drives the extra point through, and just like that, it's the Eagles back in front by 2 scores. Timeout on the field. It's a good one brewing here in the Village. East Forsyth leading by 14 on this nice pitch and catch to Ingram, who does the work on the receiving end. It's the Eagles by 14 when you return to Clemens.
Authority, Motorsports Connection, Optimal Health Chiropractic, Hi Guys, Salem Glen Golf Academy, Free Golf,
2-score lead for East Forsyth, and stay tuned. Coming up in the fourth quarter, we'll highlight tonight's Roan Law play of the game. Roan Law, the Triad's injuries attorneys. And man, that might be a play of the game tease right there on that pitch and catch for Ingram. A drive that goes 2 plays, 62 yards, and a big answer for East Forsyth.
Just another one of those weapons as the season has worn on. Traylon Ingram has been one of those guys that has come on and made a name for himself in this offense, an offense that is star-studded with impact players, and just another guy emerging in that group.
Another Arnold Jones Services kickoff, and another touchback for Andrew Conrad. Sound like a broken record now talking about the weapons that these two teams have.
Well, and you see why when we were talking at half about how deep this conference is. Really, you could talk ad nauseum. Anyone in the state could tell you how deep they are and how talented each one of these teams is. And just another example of the clash of talent that you have on a field on an almost nightly basis when you come to conference play.
A clash of the Titans, if you will?
Maybe.
Yeah, perhaps. All right, speaking of the Titans, what does West Forsyth have to do on this drive?
Well, they found some good offense there on that drive, just stalled out. So with some fine defensive plays for that Eagles defense. Now just finding that rhythm again. I really like the tempo on the last drive where they were going up tempo and moving the ball at a fast pace.
Working from the pistol for the first time tonight. Straight ahead for Long, and carries a man with him for 6 yards.
Just an excellent runner of the football. Very instinctive. Great ball security on top of that as well. And you talk about a guy who's found the end zone plenty of times here so far this season. He is an impact player. He is the impact player on this offense, and you see why.
11 rushing scores for Long this season, although no offensive score for West Forsyth tonight. The only touchdown, a pick 6 to start the third quarter. Floating this one up, this ball underthrown and intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Graham, the senior corner. And Graham down at the 45. The 11th interception for the East Forsyth defense.
Trying to take a shot down the field that time for number 19, Isaiah Kimborough. And just trying to go up and give his receiver a chance that time, but Nasir Graham, one of those guys, so tall and lanky at 6'4", running stride for stride down the field with Kimborough, and had inside position, just really no chance to make a play on that football offensively. Great coverage, and a great way to finish the play by getting the interception.
Just the second interception thrown this season by Rice, making his first career start tonight. Now East Forsyth by 14, looking to add on.
And all the momentum that West had captured on their side seems to have dissipated up to this point.
Rayner wants to take a deep shot down the field. Caught again by Brown. First and goal for the Eagles.
Everyone's going to ask the question all the time, what is it? What can Brown do for you? This is exactly what he's done here tonight. Sean Brown has been a star offensively, and he has had chunk play after chunk play. Started off with a touchdown catch and has had 2 long gains since then.
His 5th catch, 143 rushing yards tonight. That play gained 45. And now first and goal for East Forsyth in the Boost Mobile Orange Zone. To the ground. This way it comes for Porter. And wrangled out of bounds at the 8-yard line.
It's really this offense after that slow start. Again, to this half, they started slow on both halves. And since then have adjusted, settled back down, and played their own brand of football, which over the last several weeks has been no less than dominant offensively.
Power pistol here for East. $10 on the play clock. To the outside, Rayner keeps it and is inside the 5. It's 3rd and goal.
Slowly ticking away at that defense that felt like it had so much momentum after the start to this half. And a touchdown here really puts a dent in the hope and the chances for these Titans to make a comeback in this football game.
East Forsyth looking to win their 5th consecutive game. Won a triple overtime thriller against Glenn at home last week. But a score here might begin to salt this one away. 3rd down, goal to go.
You just got to think you keep this football in the hands of your quarterback there, Jalen Rayner.
Rayner gives it away. It's Porter stretching for 6 more. Porter's first rushing score of the game, his 5th of the year. Was touchdown for East Forsyth.
It's been a flurry of punches getting into the end zone. Ingram's found it. Brown has found it. And now Porter finding it yet again. Just a bevy of weapons being now shown off by this East offense, and they are on an absolute tear.
Conrad, who's only missed 2 extra points all season, remains perfect here. And it is a 21-point lead now for East Forsyth. Maybe it was that triple overtime game that started to show some belief for East Forsyth, but the way that they executed on this drive with a long pass, first it began with the interception, defense leading to offense for the Eagles.
And really you can see how consistent they are and how dominant they've been over the last several weeks. After that wake-up call from Reagan, they stepped back, allowed themselves to get back to what they do best, moving the football, getting your playmakers in space. And that has been on full display when this offense has been clicking tonight.
Mark, coming up in the 4th quarter, we'll have tonight's Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Player of the Game. The Winston-Salem Fairgrounds, your one-stop source for entertainment in Winston-Salem. Just a methodical drive by East Forsyth. But back to the thought from a moment ago, Coach Willard told us, he said, you know, that win against Glenn last week showed his team that, hey, we can do this. We are that good. And this is a good time to start playing your best football.
Well, and my question was to him, are they going to be fatigued? You come off a 3 overtime game late in the season. You just don't know what you're going to get. And he said, no, they're energized, they're ready to go and fired up, especially for a game like this one here tonight against your biggest rival.
No surprise, a touchback. And certainly gut check time now for West Forsyth, down by 21. Who do the Titans turn to? Who do they call upon to try to stem the tide late in the 3rd quarter?
Well, you'd like to think that it'd be Javonte Long, your star running back, who's been your do-it-all guy offensively all year. But if you're going to get back in this game, it's got to be behind the arm of Burt Rice. He's found a little bit of consistency here in the 2nd half. Some of those bigger plays, able to find some guys down the field. But it's just been the mistakes and the mental errors that have crept up on this West Forsyth offense and put them in this 21-point hole.
They'll start on the ground with Long, bouncing it outside. And picks up 9 as we go down to the field and say hi again to Hannah.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, earlier this week we talked to head coach Adrian Snow, what kind of culture he hopes to establish here for this program. He said, tough love. He wants to tell his kids that he loves them, and there's a couple of returning former Titan players here on the field tonight, and he said this is what the program's all about. They wanted to return home here tonight.
Hannah, thanks. It's been a really tough start to the season for Coach Snow. Battled the COVID. Actually went out with COVID early in the season, and the second week of practice did not return until their week 3 game against Weddington on the road, and said, for him, all he wants to do is coach football. It's all he knows how to do, except besides cut grass. Certainly feel him there, but you can tell how much he loves his program, how much he loves his school, how much he loves his players, and that's been on display anytime you talk with Coach Snow. Certainly glad that he's back and feeling better.
Well, absolutely, and you talk about a guy that's coached a great team here, even tonight, find themselves in this hole, but they've been competitive all year long, and they find themselves in a good position to make the playoffs and get into postseason play and give themselves a chance at a state title from there. But you can just tell when you've got a guy that loves football the way that he does and has that workman mentality, it's going to be infectious. It's going to spread throughout your entire program.
Rice taking a shot to the outside, nobody home. Finishing up the thought on Coach Snow, he said, West Forsyth is a great place because of the people that are around the program, that are in the school. And he has certainly done a great job here in Clemens, continuing the tradition. Again, we told you at the outset, 6 seasons with 10 or more wins under Coach Snow, only 2 losing seasons in the 14 that he has been here in Clemens.
You want to talk about a guy who knows how to win. Coach Snow and this team, they know how to get it done when it matters most.
Long for just a couple of yards. As we tick down to the final 2 minutes of this third quarter.
So much, especially with now playoff time starts next week.
Yeah.
Your first round of the playoffs are next week, and the better teams in the state are going to know what you like to do offensively and defensively, and they're going to game plan against that. How are you going to offset it?
Third down, Long straight ahead, and that'll be good. No, beg your pardon, it was David straight ahead who will achieve the crescent forward first down. Coming up in the fourth quarter, we'll have tonight's West Rock scoring summary. West Rock, your local leader in paper, packaging, and displays. Come join our team at jobs.westrock.com. Look at the thighs on David there.
My God. Talk about a man out on the field right now.
6 foot, 235. He's a senior, but he'll get some interest at the next level. Totes the mail again and picks up a yard.
It's always nice to be versatile like the David brothers are as well.
Sure.
And Max, so highly regarded. Even Coach Willard was talking about him in high regard, saying that he was probably the first defender, I think by name, he pointed out this week.
Mm-hmm. Change of pace back now as Long back into the game.
That is the one thing, rushing the football, why they've been so effective. You've got guys back there almost like a fire and ice, thunder and lightning kind of combo.
It'll be David again for the third consecutive play. Drags some men with him. And brings up a third down and medium for West Forsyth.
These teams, these better teams, again, in the state, once you get to playoff time, they know what you like to do. They've got the film on you. They are in the playoffs for a reason, just like you. So if West Forsyth wants to go far and they have the aspirations to do so, they've got to be able to have a balanced attack offensively, and that's got to start at the quarterback position, whether it's Burt Rice or otherwise.
Third down. Final play most likely of the third period. Rice, plenty of time. This way it comes, and the catch made by Hairston. And he will be short of the marker, it appears. And will bring up fourth down with 4 seconds to go in the quarter.
Another one of those short passes just out to the side. And so many of these passes have actually been a little high tonight. For Rice, on those outs, he has not been able to get that football down. And if he does, he gives his guys a chance to make a move in space and get some extra yards. But if they're up in the air, there's not much they can do.
Generous spot, the left foot spot there. It's a crescent forward first down. And, quietly, Rice has put together a pretty nice game, minus the interception. 10 for 17, 68 yards. Has managed the offense, and as the clock starts again, that'll take us to the game's final stanza. It's a 14-point third quarter for East Forsyth. Some big plays for the Eagles as they ride high heading to the game's final period. East Forsyth leading by 21 when you come back to Clemens on our Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Friday Night Rivals presented by Roll Law. A lot to dance and smile about on that East Forsyth sideline tonight. Eagles leading by 21 as we head to the game's final period. Chris Edwards, Mark Covert, Hannah Brady, the rest of our team as we wind down the regular season. On first down, West Forsyth straight ahead, and a modest gain that time on first down for Tay Long.
Just that bread and butter package, running the football. What has put the Titans in a favorable position heading into next week's beginning of postseason play has been Tay Long and Mac David in the backfield. They have been consistent offensive weapons for this offense of the Titans.
And still, this game has a lot of time left. A touchdown here certainly gets you back into the ball game if you're West Forsyth. They want to take a shot to the air, some hand fighting, and a flag is down as Morris was the intended target. This might be pass interference.
It's a little too handsy. Talked about how you allow that physical play to take place in a rivalry, but there's always still a line, and you got to give the receiver a chance to make a play on the football. Looks like Nasir Graham might be the guilty party this time.
Holding called against, okay, yeah. Had a defensive holding there. Gary Ollis pointed the wrong way and was about to be a uproar here in Clemens.
About to be public enemy #1 coming out of Clemens. You see it right there, just a little too handsy. Graham's got to give him a chance to make a play on that football.
That's a 10-yard penalty. Will be a first down.
Talented corner just trying to play physical football, which is fine. But again, that line is still going to exist even in a rivalry game. Morris has to have a chance to make a play on the football.
Remember, they're no uncatchable in high school football. But an interesting difference in pass interference versus holding there. Fifth penalty on East Forsyth, 46 yards, and now West on the move here. And a flag will back the Titans up 5 yards.
And Big Ethan Krebs may have just stumbled backwards that time. You know, sometimes you can't just tell if maybe they got off to a bad start that time or maybe rocking back a little too far and honestly fall backwards. Got to catch themselves.
How does the play call change now, 1st and 15?
For this offense, I don't know that it does. You really think first down, their MO has been to run the football, and I think they still stick with that because on this drive, they've been pretty effective on first down running it. They've gotten some good yards and given themselves a chance on 2nd and 3rd down because of it.
Long straight ahead and runs into a brick wall in this East Forsyth defense, brings up 2nd down. Brown in on the stop. He has been everywhere defensively for East Forsyth tonight.
Had a big stop on one of the drives in the third quarter, giving it back to his offense.
Yeah, on a 4th down play, which right now looms pretty big.
Yeah, especially on a drive where West seemed to get some momentum back in their favor. They were driving the football down the field. It's really impressive by this defense and the way they've handled the offense and the rushing attack, particularly of West Forsyth.
Play action over the middle, skying up is Morris for the catch, and the ball pops out, and they're going to say Morris is down at the 5-yard line. So a 1st and goal completion. It's the 11th completion of the night for Burt Rice, and a Crescent Ford first down. Crescent Ford of High Point, we keep you rolling.
Play action created that passing lane right there. Rice hiding the football pretty well, finding Morris just right over the middle. That's an easy pitch and catch. And because of the rushing attack on this drive, sucked the defense up towards the line of scrimmage.
David stays on his feet and picks up a couple of yards. We'll bring up 2nd and goal.
I'm surprised it looked like David rather, got his face mask grabbed there during the play as well. So surprised no flag came out on that one. But again, that big body rumbling down the field, just not able to find much room and traction against this defense of East Forsyth.
West bringing some bigger personnel onto the field now. Some anxious moments for the crowd in Clemens.
And they've had this 2-back set on the field for a lot of this drive as well.
Long, straight ahead, and stretches to the 1. 3rd and goal.
It's real close. You got to think right now, just hurry up, get to the line of scrimmage. Quick hitting, they are going.
3rd down, goal to go. Long, straight ahead, 4-6. Touchdown, West Forsyth. The 12th rushing score of the year for Tay Long. And a Sunbelt Reynolds touchdown for the Titans. Sunbelt Reynolds serving the Trad with winter locations across the area to deliver quickly your ready-to-work equipment when and where you need it.
Waited for Long to find the end zone tonight. He's found it plenty of times throughout the year, that time from less than a yard out. You might as well cash that one because it's going to be guaranteed every single time inside the 1. Tay Long finds the end zone yet again.
The extra point is good. 2 great kickers on display. And all of a sudden, West trying to make a little bit of a comeback. A ball game again as Long caps the drive and gets in the first offensive score of the night for West Forsyth. We'll be back with more 4th quarter action after this on our Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Friday Night Rivals. Jontavi Long doing it all for West Forsyth tonight. Big touchdown run there for Long to put the Titans back on the board, Mark, and now a crucial stop perhaps coming for this Titan defense.
Well, they've had 2 stops in this second half, the first 2 drives. Of course, the first one resulting in the pick 6 for the first points of the night for the Titans. So they've proven capable of stopping the East Forsyth offense. It's just been when the Eagles have been able to get it going, they have had no luck slowing them down to that point. So a tough task ahead of this Titans defense on this ensuing drive.
Ready for another Arnold Jones Services Heating and Air kickoff. And Arnold Jones Services Heating and Air, we're your trusted and dependable source for over 60 years. Another booming kick. The Eagles will put it in play from the 20-yard line. 9.5 minutes to go. Do you look for East Forsyth to try to slow things down here, Mark, and try to use some clock leading by a couple of scores?
So I'm a big believer in you not playing to a situation. They've done a good job of moving the football all night, and for me personally, if you're going to go out of what you've done throughout the night where you've been successful, you're playing into the hands of what West wants. So don't play to the situation. Continue to handle your business. There's 9.5 minutes left in this football game. You're not trying to pack this one away, essentially, and just run the clock to run the clock.
10 on the play clock for Rayner and the offense. To the outside. This is Fisher, who is strung out and thrown for a loss. There is a flag down. Salerno in on the stop, but we'll check on the marker.
He's looking around. That don't know if they got him for a horse collar.
Coach Snow pleading his case, but it appears to no avail. And it is indeed a horse collar tackle. So 15 yards, 15 free yards for East Forsyth.
Well, let's get a good look at this one here. Yeah, right inside the shoulder pads. A good call by this officiating crew.
That is letter of the law.
Yep.
You can't fault Salerno for trying to make an impact play.
Well, and he made a great play, getting out on the edge and getting there to make the tackle. It's just in the process of making the tackle, you got to make sure you're not doing it illegally and getting inside that jersey and shoulder pads of the offensive player. Great job getting there. Got to make sure you finish the play, though.
Play action. Rayner pulls it down and now wants to run. Boy, a lot of running for just a handful of yards, but a nice play to avoid the loss.
And there hasn't been a whole lot of running room really for Rayner tonight. He's really picked and chose where he's running the football, keeping it on the ground. He hasn't had to do a whole lot of it here tonight. His passing has been so effective. But credit this defense. They have kept him in front of them and not allowed him to get some of that room to work with so he can show his dynamic running ability in space.
9 carries for 29 yards for Rayner tonight, averaging just over 3 yards per carry. For an offense in East Forsyth that has achieved 68 rushing yards, but it has been the explosive plays really through Rayner's right arm in the passing game. On the ground here, a big run for Porter into the second level. And another Crescent Ford first down. Crescent Ford of High Point. We keep you rolling.
Might be the best looking run play that they've had all night to this point, Chris. Just right up the middle that time. No one home to stop Porter. Got a head of steam into the secondary. Nice run.
222 passing yards for Rayner tonight, just to complete the thought from a moment ago.
And just talk about the effectiveness that he's had. Those have been the chunk plays that this offense really loves, taking shots over the top where they haven't been so methodical. It's worked to their advantage.
Ingram for just a couple of yards.
And I've really loved how the game plan for East hasn't changed much throughout the night.
Yeah.
They've had some ups and downs, but it has not changed, and that really talks to what Coach Willard told us throughout the week.
Be confident in what you do, is what he said. So we don't have to rely on the big plays. They've gotten the big plays tonight, but it's not been all of their offense.
And that wasn't just something he echoed to his players, it's also his coaches.
Yeah.
Just don't overcoach, just settle in and do what you do best. He doesn't have to worry about them. Just find a way to make the plays.
And not much running room here. Flag is down, though, as Rayner called his own number. And we'll check on the flag. It's holding against East Forsyth. 6th penalty of the night on the Eagles.
And really going back to that thought about how this coaching staff and how this offense and team have changed throughout the season, the playbook now is completely open to what Rayner wants to do. He's developed throughout the season. This coaching staff has built a trust in what he can do.
Yeah, we asked Coach Willard how much of the playbook is open right now. He said 100%. He said, although maybe we don't need to have 100% open to the junior quarterback.
Just think about that, a junior having 100% of the playbook open to him. That just speaks to the intelligence that he has, the football IQ and the acumen that he brings to the field.
East Forsyth approaching 100 yards rushing as a team. It's been a balanced effort. We mentioned the 200-plus passing yards. And now sticking to the ground, get some of the penalty yardage back. It was Rayner again on the call.
Got about all of it back, too. It might have been Rainer's best run of the night. Just a quarterback power off the left side of that offensive line, right into the teeth of that West Forsyth defense. Did a really good job of just getting upfield, falling forward, and getting a few extra yards after contact.
9-yard run is his biggest of the night. 3rd down and 11.
And this defense hunkered down against these skill position players. 4 wide.
Play action. Rainer on 3rd down, sets up the screen. Bobbled for a moment, but caught. And Porter trying to make something happen, but not able to get there. Brings up 4th down. Porter with just his 5th catch of the season.
And I don't know if Porter would have got enough yards for that 1st down, but he kind of bobbled the ball there for a second off the screen. I love the play call. This West defense was out the gate into the backfield with blitzers. Great play call, caught him in the right position, and I just don't know if that bobble held Porter up enough so that he couldn't get a good grab on the football and a good lock on what was going on down the field. But also credit that defense. West was able to get back, good pursuit to the football, and finishing off Porter before he could find any room to work with and get a full head of steam down the field.
And we do have a timeout on the field as well before this 4th down play. 6.5 minutes remaining. And starting to get into that gut check time of this rivalry matchup.
Yeah, and really at this stage in the game now, any points scored by East is going to deal a critical blow to the hopes of coming back in this one if you're West Forsyth. The defense has been pretty good here so far tonight against an offense that's been rolling on all cylinders in previous weeks, but now would be a time where you can't bend or break.
It was West that called the timeout. Leaves them with 2 for the final 6.5 minutes. And now 4th down. It looks like Conrad and the punting unit will come on the field for the Eagles.
Just play the field position game now at this point. You got a great elite, really kicking game, especially playing the football. Conrad's so effective on the field when he's on the field.
Low snap. Conrad's going to run it on a fake. Conrad's got some room and has the 1st down.
So dangerous on the field. I was referring to him actually punting the football and pinning his opponent's back deep, but now the fake works that time. Out the gate, this defense, this special teams unit was not ready for that one, and Conrad showing off a little bit of speed to the outside. Picks up the critical 1st down for the Eagles. And the drive stays alive.
Now 1st down for East Forsyth, trying to assault this one away. Another crescent forward 1st down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them kind of take a shot here. Sean Brown's been the big play threat. He's there in the slot, number 7.
They'll stay on the ground. Porter bounces off one tackler and fights ahead. Check that, it was Fisher who picks up a couple of yards. Going back to that fake punt for just a second, that's something else now that's on film for next week that opponents have to contend with as the playoffs begin for East Forsyth. Really, it begins for everyone, the playoffs do next week.
And it's an interesting concept, though, when you put something on film. Like, yeah, they actually have it on film, so you're not going to surprise them with it. But like you say, partner, it's that much more they have to prepare for at that point. You're putting the pressure and the onus on your opponent in that sense.
2nd down. Straight ahead with Ingram. Still on his feet. 1st and goal for East Forsyth.
I'll tell you what, Ingram has been electric here tonight, and a guy that has emerged more and more as the season has worn on, and he deserves this role in this offense. He has been electric with the football in his hands tonight, 2 touchdowns. He's earned a right to be a paramount piece in this offense.
Another crescent forward 1st down. This is the 9th play of the drive for East Forsyth.
Really, you start to look at this offense and think, well, how do you start Rainer? Well, then the question becomes, well, how do we stop everything else along with him? Because if it's not him, it's going to be someone else.
Pads popping on the run there from Fisher. You mentioned Rainer. Coach Snow told us this week, he said, you know, that he's a quarterback that, in his quote, in his words, puts you in a quandary.
Yeah. He said here in Forsyth County, they like to say that, and they put themselves in a position. It's pick your poison, really.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, how do you defend him? He is one of the best quarterbacks in the state, and he plays like it. He really said, you know, guys in this league, you're either a passer or a runner, but He's a guy who can do both, and he does both very well.
2nd and goal. Clock is the ally of the Eagles here. No big hurry. Quarterback power. Rayner down to the 5. Rayner now over 40 yards rushing tonight. East as a group over 100 yards on the ground.
It's just been a really hard-fought 100 yards as well. I mean, they have scratched and clawed their way to the century mark tonight, but they've done it well, especially here in the second half. It's been in effective moments, and it's worked to their advantage.
Now 3rd and goal.
For all intents and purposes, a score here is a knockout blow to the Titans.
On the ground, another rushing score for East. It's Fisher who gets his 5th rushing score of the year. Another Sunbelt Rentals touchdown for East Forsyth. Sunbelt Rentals offering rental locations across the trad to quickly deliver ready-to-work equipment when and where you need it.
Yeah, the 4th Eagle to now score tonight. Fisher too easy, using that speed to the outside, and this defense of West Forsyth had no chance of getting in position to make a tackle. Fisher just too quick to the outside, and that might be the finishing blow.
And another extra point for Conrad, and an exclamation point for East Forsyth. East Forsyth will win, we believe, barring a major comeback, their 2nd consecutive game over West Forsyth. A long way to go. We'll see what happens in the final 4 minutes when we come back.
Back here in Clemens, North Carolina, East Forsyth putting on a dominant performance, and it's been all about number 1 at the quarterback position. That has been Jalen Rayner, an effective force offensively so far tonight, and he is our Winston-Salem Fairgrounds player of the game. Talk about running the football, passing it. He has been a do-it-all threat. And he's picked his spots. Made some great plays in his own right. As the kickoff for East goes into the end zone for another touchback, as the West Forsyth offense will come back out onto the field. Down 21 now, but again, Jalen Rayner, so electric all night long, and he is, again, our player of the game tonight. Just got to really commend the effort that the Eagles have put on, especially here in the second half. Found some adversity to start the half. We're able to finish this one off, for all intents and purposes, up by 21 with a little under 4 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. As Javonte Long runs yet again, he finds no room along the left side. A host of Eagles flock to him and wrap him up for a loss on first down. It's a tough night for this West offense, which seemed at points to find some traction offensively, but just not enough to keep up with this electric offense and this team for East Forsyth. Just too much power, too much firepower, especially offensively, for West to keep up. Rice will drop back to pass. This time fires out to the left side. Finds his receiver down the field for a short pickup on second down. Tackle man coverage, yeah, that time by one of the corners out on an island.
And now a third down coming up. Kind of do or die time here, obviously, for West Forsyth.
Yeah. And they've, again, now you're just trying to play to find a little bit of momentum going into next week, find some consistency to go off of.
Back to the ground. It's faked, and now over the middle, incomplete.
Trying to go with a trick play that time. I believe that was Harrison throwing a ball down the field.
As we get deeper into this game, obviously West Forsyth in the playoffs too, they've put some stuff on film for teams to see. And now as we start to look big picture, Mark, let's look ahead toward next week and hopefully for both of these clubs, long playoff runs. What's your synopsis or prognostication for these two teams as they get into the third phase of their season?
Well, the road to a state title is going to obviously be much harder for West Forsyth than it is for East, not just by talent level, because there's a ton of talent on this West Forsyth team.
Play action, David over the middle, and a sliding catch made by Morris.
But for them, they're going to start out more than likely on the road next week. And that's going to essentially be their MO. If they want to get to a state championship game, it's going to be as a road team almost the entire way. A nice pass over the middle by Rice to Morris. Second time or third time they've hooked up tonight.
Rice has played a pretty good game tonight. Remember, is that one again complete to Morris. Rice, just a sophomore, making his first career start, so he'll gain some confidence from this game too.
Right.
He did a lot of things right. Had the interception. Outside of that, some throws that he would want to have back. But Mark, 12 of 19 for almost 100 yards throwing for a sophomore quarterback against your arch rival in your first career start. A lot of good things.
And not just your arch rival, a very good team that has a lot of great defensive players in this Forsyth. So coming out here, right, he's played a relatively clean game outside of that one interception here in the second half. But there's got to be some improvements next week to offset that rushing attack and allow them to have some efficiency offensively.
Incomplete pass there with 93 seconds left.
And then you flip it over to the other side and you look at the Eagles of East Forsyth, a team that's loaded with talent. And they're going to start at least at home and really could have a run through the playoffs where they play one at least, maybe even 2 games at home before they hit the road.
I mean, this is a team that, in theory, depending on how things shake out, could be at home throughout the duration.
They could.
Remember, they're going to add a 5th playoff game.
Yep.
So an extra round before the regional final. Little screen on third down, complete to Long, who picks up another crescent forward first down. As we take a look at tonight's Roan Law play of the game, pretty easy to decipher the play of the game. It'll come from East Forsyth tonight, and it's this big passing play as Rayner hooks up with Ingram. Ingram doing the rest. A nice shimmy, stays on his feet, and goes all the way to the house.
Just a really nice play. Second touchdown of the night for Ingram. You see how much his role has grown in this offense as the season has worn on.
Tonight's play of the game brought to you by Roan Law, the Triad attorneys who are here to help. And incomplete pass brings up, that was a complete pass. It was a backwards pass, but it's still going to be a second down coming up for West Forsyth. Less than a minute to go.
But, you know, even despite the loss here tonight, you can see that the Titans are still playing. I mean, they're still scrapping into this thing and playing to the whistle. And if you're going to be in the postseason, you've got to have that mentality.
I'll tell you, the way East Forsyth has played tonight and have played the last 5 weeks since we saw them against Reagan in week 4, this is going to be a tough out in the playoffs.
I was going to say good luck to whoever's playing them because you've got a tall task ahead of you. Again, kind of what we alluded to. If it's not Rayner, it's going to be someone else on that offense. And, I mean, again, pick your poison. If it's not number 1, it's going to be Porter, Ingram, Brown. Efficient as always. And defensively, they are stout. They've got guys who can make plays all over the field, very fast and disciplined.
Play action. Rice hit as he throws. Ball is out, but incomplete pass. And I think we're all a little curious to see the RPI when it comes out tomorrow and who is seated where.
Right.
Now, the NCHSAA has already predetermined who is going to be East and who is going to be West, so that's not a question at all. It's all about who's going to be in, who's going to go where. Remember, not subdividing, just 4 state champions now.
Well, and remember also the fact you control what you can control. You got to win your games tonight, but you also have to remember right across the town from here, you got Grimsley and Northern Guilford playing each other tonight. That's 2 9-0 teams squaring off.
And let's remember, too, 4A, 4AA, that's out the window.
Yeah.
So now, in theory, you could get we'll just use 2A as an example. You could get Reedsville and Shelby in a third, fourth, or even a regional final type ball game in 2A. You could get East Forsyth and Grimsley, where maybe in years past one would go to 4AA, one would go to 4A. So does it impact the kids? Maybe a little bit, but I think the competition is going to make you appreciate winning a state championship even more.
Well, and that's the thing, because now you're talking about some legendary matchups that could happen much earlier in postseason play. I mean, realistically, for a fan, it's got to have you watering at the mouth. The opportunity to see your team play against some of the best throughout the entire postseason. That's got to be an exciting feeling as we now enter a new era of playoff football in the state of North Carolina.
Yeah, and a new phase of the game as East Forsyth takes the knee, and you can see the mutual respect for both of these teams, a healthy rivalry, as both coaches called it. And it's the two friends who will embrace at midfield as we take a look at tonight's West Rock scoring summary. West Rock, your local leader in paper, packaging, and displays. Come join our team at jobs.westrock.com, and you'll see the big third quarter that was utilized by East Forsyth to get the road win.
Scoring in every single quarter tonight. The Eagles did it all night long. Some slow starts to each half, but able to overcome that, put points on the board, and do what they do best, and that's come away with the W.
All right, so East on the road wins it. We'll come back and hand out some hardware after this on our Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Friday Night Rivals presented by Roan Law. A blue-collar effort tonight for East Forsyth as they win it on the road 35-14. The Eagles now finishing up the regular season with an 8-1 record. Time to hand out some hardware as we go down to the field and rejoin Hannah Brady. Hannah?
Thanks, Chris. I'm here with game-winning head coach Todd Willard. Coach, the last time I saw you was in that game against Reagan, and that was your first loss of the season. How do you think that fueled you and your team coming into this game tonight?
I think we learned a lot from that loss. We've gotten a lot better since then. I can't be prouder of these guys and my coaching staff. They've been awesome.
Awesome, and I know you guys have playoffs, coming up next week.
Yeah.
What is your plan, moving forward, and how do you hope to keep that same level of intensity?
Hey, we're moving to Phase 3 playoffs, and we'll find out sometime tomorrow who we're playing, and we'll be ready to go.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations for being tonight's Friday Night Rivals game winners. We're going to present you with this trophy, and enjoy your win tonight, guys. Great job.
Thank you very much.
Chris and Mark.
The Eagles hoping they're about 6 weeks away from hoisting another trophy to conclude their season, which would be their 4th state championship in program history. Mark, a blue-collar, workman-like effort for East Forsyth on the road this evening.
I'll tell you what, in those 6 weeks, if there's a team that has about as good a shot as anyone it's going to be these Eagles of East Forsyth. Very talented on all three phases of the game.
All right, your final thoughts this evening?
Just a dominant performance. We expected this team to come out and do what they do best. That's running the football, getting down the field offensively, playing hard-nosed defense, and they did exactly that tonight.
All right, partner, see you for the playoffs next week.
Absolutely.
We want to thank all of our sponsors who make these games possible. Thanks to Capital Metals at High Point for giving us the plaques and trophies seen in tonight's game, Cook's Rentals for those high-end zone camera views, and to Mountain Fried Chicken for providing our crew meal. Join us next Friday at 7:30 for round 1 of the NCHSAA state playoffs right here on My 48. For Mark Covert, Hannah Brady, our great stat man Drew Long, and our team in the truck led by the birthday guy Russell Jones and Lori Bates. This is Chris Edwards saying so long from the Village, where East Forsyth comes on the road and wins it to close down the regular season. Enjoy the football playoffs. We'll see you next week right here on My 48.